Hello, and welcome to Dice Breakers, a TTRPG podcast on stream with mostly accurate rules and inconsistent character voices. I'm Alex, your host and chairman, and with me are Rowan, Purdy, and probably Joe, my wonderful players. How is everybody doing today?
I was doing pretty good.
There's been some issues
I'm stressed.
of the internet variety from Joe, but Joe should be popping in just a second. So, in the meantime, we get to do a little bit of a... I record a recap. I do like a pre-made recap. Anyone who listens to C3 is used to this. I do a pre-made recap every week. And more they're becoming more like interesting tidbits of the world and less actually a recap. This one is not even a recap in the slightest, and I'm accepting that. So I'm going to do a little recap prior to that. If you're listening to this in like a podcast form or something in like later on, and you haven't watched any of the past few episodes that include what is called the Red Dungeon, I suggest you go backwards because it's just going to make less and less sense. That being said, the group of you, your party, are all in the Dilrak and Strangelings Academy for the Arcane Arts and Martial Proficiency, a university in Veluna, which is regarded as one of the highest universities in the world. Now, I'm going to skip over all the stuff you've done, which is talking to teachers, doing all the lesson stuff, and go straight to what you're currently doing, which is a part of, there's Joe, a part of the Arlist and Benfile competition, where there's a treasure hunt, a robot wars or a warforged wars, and an acrobatics type thing. Hi, Joe. Welcome back to the land of the living. You are currently finding one of the things of the treasure hunt, which is a little red orb, which is supposedly at the end of a gigantic puzzle dungeon, which you are working your way through. That's the general context of what's going on. Now, do you want to listen to the little do you want to listen to the thing?
No.
Okay, well, Purdy's going to deafen us out, plus everyone else is going to listen to it.
Again.
So turn up your volumes and buckle in.
I'm getting very classic FM presenter vibes from you, Alex, at the moment.
Come in. Ah, Velka. Thank you for coming. No worries, Dean. What's this about? It's about the new student, Jameth Risquin. Ah. Now, as you know, she's had a troubled past, lost her parents young, and had to go through the orphanage system in Kuron. Poor thing. What you don't know is a little more concerning, though manageable. Take a look at this. Risquin, 18 years old, Cougar. Oh. Well, that certainly makes things interesting. I would tend to agree. It's for that reason that I need you to keep an extra special eye on her. 2 of her classes are with you. The other is with Mason. Just to make sure she is okay. Apparently, she has a tendency for mischief. It would be a shame to see her natural skills go to waste. All right, I'll do my best. I'm putting her in room 219. A space has just opened up since Samir Maristus has been pulled from the university, and it makes sense to put her there. She'll be in the same dorm as Maisie Montgomery Cartwright, the tiefling girl who I am led to believe you have a bit of a relationship with. Yeah, she's a good student, just misguided. I see a lot of myself in her. I don't know if I should be glad or concerned. Me either, to be honest. Either way, Maisie and Jameth will be sharing classes together, so I think they could be good for each other, under a watchful eye. Plus, Neva and Kale should be a good influence on her too. I agree. Okay, good. Well, keep me updated on her progress. She'll be arriving on Saturday, so be prepared. Will do, Deanie boy. Velga, what have I told you about calling me that? Don't? Exactly. Please try to keep a professional workplace. No worries, Deanie boy. One day.
There you go. Purdy, you were complaining about not being able to hear it. At the beginning, it was just the context of Velka walking into the dean's office.
I think I just about heard what went on.
Did you have the music really quiet on your end? Because I had it maxed out on mine.
Yeah, it was loud enough. Maybe if you put your headphones on, it won't be.
No, but I can hear all of you perfectly fine. I can hear the music perfectly fine now.
I could hear it absolutely fine.
Yeah. Either way, so yes, I told you that would be absolutely unhelpful for anyone trying to get any kind of a recap, but it's a fun little
What the
tidbit
heck
into
are
The recap is mysterious warrior monk paladin out, Cougaron princess in.
And I was going to invite Gail to move in with us.
That's
Alex
not
has
how
other
a
plans.
university works. Anyway.
I'm going to do it.
So, I'm going to have to ask all of you to immediately join into Tailspire.
This happened. I can't help but notice that this is happening every single time we come back into the red
Yes.
dungeon.
It did happen last time. It's hard for me to know who's actually in, so let me know when you're all in.
I'm
I'm in.
And I'm going to ask it to go to a fight music and immediately
Give me a break.
to some what are they called? Initiative rolls.
I believe that Tucson is a place in America.
So, you've just walked into room 39. Two of you have at least, which is 35-foot diameter septagon, which is 15 foot tall with a cobblestone aesthetic around. There's a few doors in there, but that's not the concern. There was a chest in the middle, which had no locks on it, nothing in particular. Carly and Maisie both checked it to see if there was any kind of traps or anything. They didn't find any, so they opened it up, only to find that as they opened it, there was a set of gigantic teeth, a horrible wet maw inside, as it proceeded to attack. Now, I want you to know the context of this also. From the side, busting out of the wood, were two long, skeletal, or not skeletal, there's still skin on them, but very thin, bony arms, and two very big, bony legs came out the bottom, like that of Dark Souls, because it's one of those disgusting mimics that everyone thinks is like, ew. Maisie, could I please have an initiative from you?
12.
Neva?
9.
9. Cromwell?
13.
What a roll. Carly got a 1. And there is going to be a surprise round, unfortunately, because you were actually surprised by it. I'm going to send Carly's sheet in. You guys can do the same as you did for Neva last week and make some decisions, because it's a lot easier for me if you do it that way around.
I think that'll probably have to be on Joe's end, so I have 5 million screens active right now, and I can't
This is
switch.
fine.
Sorry, what's going to have to be on my end? I got distracted.
Taking over
Carly.
Carly's.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
I can
mind
do
doing
that.
It might make me more focused.
If whoever wants
If
to, I
you
really don't
want
mind.
to,
You can do it in a combination.
You
can
go
both
for
do
it, Birdie.
You can both do it and talk about it. It doesn't matter too much, because the first thing that's going to happen is the mimic. I believe it was Maisie who opened the chest, so the mimic is immediately going to try and jump.
I'm
onto
still
you.
waiting on you to move me to the.
Yeah.
Oh yes, sorry. Context-wise, the board you haven't been brought to yet. How do I do it? It's players. Is it that one? Someone plays the sport. There you go. I've got 2 of you. There's no Joe there. Are you in Tailspire?
No, Steam decided it needed to update.
Okay, let me know when you're in.
It's been a little bit of a day so far, guys. It's started really well. Turns out the problem with my fuse is a disturbing collaboration between lightning magic and water magic.
Fun. Not good. Not good. Just so you know, the weird look of this room, the wall is that weird wood thing, because this game doesn't have like diagonal walls, so it's the best I could do contextually to make a septagonal room. Maisie.
Hi.
Does a 23 hit?
Fuck you.
Yeah, fair enough. It chomps onto your arms as you tried to open it up. And you take 5 damage immediately, and then this horrible black secretion comes from within its gums. You take another 3 acid damage.
Cool. Doing great.
Almost immediately dead. Almost immediately dead as it chomps into you. But that's its round. Maisie, you are up first. I forgot that this game has a turn-based mode, which I will put you into. It's Maisie and Neva. Then it's...
So
no! It's Cromwell first.
I have arrived.
I have a clarifying question, Alex.
Yep.
If this is a Dark Souls mimic, does it also have problems getting through doors like Dark Souls mimics?
No.
Damn it.
Well, you don't know.
Well, thank you
sorry,
for
it is not.
clarifying
It is.
that.
It is Cromwell first. I didn't scroll up. Yes, that is genuinely a thing that I didn't.
I have arrived to Tailspire. My question is, as I load into Roll20 as well, weren't me and someone else like in a totally different
Yes,
room?
you are. So
Yep.
if you look on Roll20, you're in a different room, which is what I was going to run to. You are quite far away from the action. I will update Roll20. We don't need to put it on the screen, but I'll update Roll20 at the same time as you guys move in here, so you kind of know the context. But you are 2 rooms away, currently in the room which has that machine in. Now, technically, you don't have any idea that this is happening, but I will let you have that it's unlikely that Maisie didn't go as her arms were chomped into by a horrid mimic.
Are these tunnels constructed in such a way that I would have heard that?
Yes, you definitely would have. It's only a couple rooms away, and the doorway is open. It wouldn't have been like a loud thing, but you'd have heard the urgency in the scream.
I will look around to see which twin made the noise.
Neva's standing
We're
next
not
to you.
twins.
And then I will sigh and I will start going. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3.
You're currently standing. Did Maisie let down the ladder on the other side?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're currently standing. There's in front of you is this rotating wooden pole over
On
this...
Roll20.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a rotating wooden pole that's hard to walk over, but the ladder that you can see, you can climb down into the water and then climb out at the other side because it's already been, like, the shortcut has already been activated as it would be. It'll just take an extra 5 feet of movement, I reckon, to go down and up. It's not that far.
Okay, so it was 3 to get to there. 4. 5 is where I am my turn.
Okay, so you
I
are
only have 50 feet of movement.
wet in the boots, and you still have no idea particularly what's going on.
I'm coming! I'm coming!
Next is Maisie.
I'm leaving! Disengage and run.
Yeah, fair enough.
5, 10, 15, 20. Does the door open? I think
It never closed. It never closed.
Cool. 25, 30. Goodbye! Can I shoot it with my crossbow from here? Oh no, I disengaged. Never mind.
You disengaged, but for next time, probably yes. That would.
Well, I'm gonna keep on running, so no, actually.
Neva.
Let me just check how many. 30. Why is my screen doing that? Okay, I can't move Neva on my thing, so I need to move a 30 in the direction of the room.
So 5, 10. Are you on the right tool on the left? 15, 20, 25, 30. Ooh, 30 gets you to either in the pool or you can try and run across it. But, that's obviously a check.
I'm on the right thing. I want. So I can attempt to run across it.
So it'll take an extra 5 feet of movement total to go down the ladder and up the ladder on the other side. Or it wouldn't take that much extra movement if you just ran across it, but you have to do an acrobatics check because it's a rotating.
I'll do the acrobatics check.
Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. I'm assuming you're dashing.
Yeah.
So you'd have another 30 feet of movement. Okay, roll on acrobatics.
Unnatural 20.
Oh yeah, more than
No.
good enough. You just sprint across 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. You're now standing in the doorway, which I can now put you on the actual map as standing in that doorway. You've run straight past Maisie, who has blood and black stuff dripping from both of her arms.
I don't recommend fighting it.
What did you do?
We'll talk about it later.
So it's Carly up next, for whoever is going to be controlling that.
It's gonna disengage, and so all 3 of these doors.
I'm wrong. It's the Mimic next. I'm doing badly today.
Oh, for God's sake!
It's the Mimic next, who's going to turn to the left and attempt to attack Carly. No, Carly's got an AC of 10 because he still doesn't have his armor on. Oh, that's a terrible roll. That's a 8 overall. Great. It attempts to chomp onto Carly, who just flails backwards and just misses. But yeah, now it's Carly's turn. That's all it does on its turn. And
So, are all these doors open or not?
No. We've only...
No.
Well, we haven't tried the one at the top. The only one we know is open is the one we came through.
Yeah, there's 2 doors that you haven't even tried, and then the one that you came through. And by top, they mean this one up here.
Oh, okay.
I have a question.
You're welcome to ask it.
The water that this like pool is.
Yes.
As the great Take That once said, how deep is this pool?
Not very. It's like 1 foot maybe.
Oh, only?
Yeah, it's not a very deep pool. It's more just like, so it's not very deep in. It's about just over 5 foot for fall into a foot of water, so it breaks your fall a little bit. It's not that bad of a
Just so
danger
that it
situation.
doesn't hurt at all.
Yeah.
It's going to make it really hard to drown this mimic.
Yeah.
So it's probably a little bit more than 5 because you can't climb the other side, but you get the point. Yes, it would make it difficult.
Right. Calais, I can't control, is going to disengage and run over to here. Oh, you can't see where I'm pointing.
No, I cannot.
Here.
It's fine. I'll give you, control.
You want to trap him in the tunnel?
I can see that, the domey thing.
Okay,
Cool.
you will have control to move. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25-ish. Yeah, fine. Okay. Carla moves over there. Anything else Carla's going to do?
No.
No ranged attacks or anything of that nature?
Disengaged.
Yeah.
That is true. He disengaged.
Even I knew what I was doing then.
The fact
Good
that you
job,
had to say
Birdie.
even I knew.
I
that
believed
wasn't as
in
much of a
you.
dig as you thought it was. Cromwell, it's your turn.
I believed in you, and you pulled it off.
Thank you.
Right, extra 5 feet of movement. Boom. And then
It wasn't meant to be a
2,
dig.
3. Can I see it from here?
You'd have, it would have like sort of, half cover, but yeah.
Cool, that's fine.
As a halfling, can't you occupy a space of a medium creature?
Is it occupy or just move through?
Yeah, I think it's move through, because obviously you can move through the space of your friends anyway. That doesn't matter on your size.
Halfling nimbleness, you can move through the space of any creature that
Yeah,
is of a
so-
size larger than yours.
So you can do it to enemies is the main advantage there. You just can't stand on the same spot. At
Um,
least tiny creatures can be on the same spot.
yeah. Right, that's fine. Okay, if I can see it, then I will, mind sliver.
Mhm.
Because cover doesn't give it any kind of bonus to intelligence
fair
save.
enough. It's
Dex saves.
Intelligence save, yes. 8.
Failure.
It's so smart.
Takes
Yes.
3 psychic damage and it loses a d6. Sorry, it loses a d4 from its next save.
Yep, sounds good. Anything else you're gonna do?
I'm gonna say. Oh wait, I'm gonna use a bonus action.
Okay.
To do something because I have something that I can do on a bonus action. It's just not usually useful in combat. I'm going to make a telepathic connection with it.
Okay.
I'm going to say.
What are the bounds of the telepathic connection in terms of like intelligence and things like that, if there are any?
Oh no.
Okay, Joey.
So basically, as long as it can understand.
We lost you for
You
a
disappeared
second.
for a second.
Oh, okay. As long as it can. Oh no, this is one that I was going to say. Some of them are you can just speak as long as it understands a language. This one is it has to speak the same language.
Is he coming back? Is he coming back?
So never mind.
Yes.
Remember when Joe was like,
Oh come on!
my internet's better nowadays, and I said, I'll believe it when I see it. So you attempt to make your... are you going to attempt to make the connection, or...
No.
Jesus Christ.
No is the answer.
Okay,
No.
we're moving on.
For the
Maisie.
love-
Maisie.
Does it still have cover if I try to shoot it from where I am?
From where you are... No, I think you're okay.
Cool, I'm gonna shoot it.
You just have to tell Neva to duck.
Hey, Neva, duck.
Where?
Okay, you get shot in the back of the head with a crossbow.
I mean, I assume she probably would if I didn't roll a natural 19 plus 5, d8 plus 3.
Oh, so she would have ducked. She wouldn't have made that stupid joke.
6 damage of the piercing kind.
Yeah. You just slam an arrow to its side. It sticks into the wood, but you think it does damage. Not really
Hey.
sure with mimics.
Hey, fuck you! And then I'm gonna run away again. Oh, fuck. No, wrong direction.
One direction. and then
Wrong
another
direction. God, motherfucker. What the hell? Technology is not cooperating with me
So now you
today.
can right click and drag on.
Shut up. I'm going to run back across the beam.
Roll acrobatics.
Natural 20.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. You're so panicked, it doesn't even
Yeah.
move. You're just. Okay. After Maisie, Neva.
Is it me? Are you sure it's me?
Is it me you're looking for?
I'm disappointed in us.
I'm not even surprised.
Well, if Maisie's running away, she'll probably run away.
Yeah, sorry. Can you give me back control so I can have Maisie run away here as well? Goodbye.
But Carly, yeah.
Carly, you have in fact abandoned Carly inside.
I have 1
That is
HP. I'm not going to be to blame for this. Especially since Kale agreed and then it was cool to open.
Why am I back at 9?
You healed.
Everybody healed. Everybody healed.
Oh, okay.
Hey, is there any of that goo left?
You don't know. You don't know if it's still there.
What do you
If you
mean
know
I
where
don't know? Was there any when we left?
There was when
If-
you left, yes.
Cool.
If you know where to look for it, baby.
Oh,
No.
come on.
Wrong campaign! Wrong campaign!
Oh yeah, sorry.
If you know where.
If you know where to look for it.
Meanwhile, in another part of in a different universe completely, the ears of Phenobius perk up.
Oh, Jesus Christ, no. She's gonna follow Carly.
Okay, you're gonna run into the room. Nice one. Brave as can be. Well, hang on. 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 30. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Well, actually, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, it would work. Cool. It's probably going to look at you as you run past, because why wouldn't it? There's a dog in the distance. Is that your turn? You're not going to take any actions? No? Okay. Then
Other than running up to it and stabbing it with a thing, there's not much I can
You
do.
can throw your dagger.
You can dodge.
You could also dodge.
Yeah, but dodge what? There's nothing to dodge right now.
Dodge
No, you-
makes it so that if they attack on your turn, like after you take the dodge action, they have disadvantage.
Oh.
It's
Okay, I'll
basically
do
getting
that.
prepared to dodge. Okay,
Yeah.
you dodge, which is a good thing because it's going to chase after you.
I'm still learning, Rowan.
It's going to
3
stand
years.
there and attempt to chomp. Yeah, it's 3 years. At this point, you're not allowed to say, I'm still learning. This is, you have had plenty of time to read and learn.
I've never ever
In-
used the dodge action.
In fairness, we didn't when we went over actions and stuff in the 1D&D talks
Oh.
that we did a few weeks ago.
Okay,
we
so
didn't.
it's going
We
to
didn't.
attack.
We
The
didn't
ones
cover
I
dodge.
fell asleep in, yeah?
Purdy can tell you the what happens with the persuade action or whatever it is.
Okay, Purdy, I would tell you, you should be glad that you were told the dodge action exists, because I've rolled my first dice and it was a natural 20. The
Thanks,
second
Rowan.
one is still going to hit, but it's not going to be a natural. It's a 23.
Yeah.
So, it chomps into your leg. You're going to take 2 piercing damage, and then the same black secretion will come out, and you'll take another 2 acid damage. It's Carly's turn. What does Carly do?
Just double checking the spell what I was thinking of using.
Right.
Right, so they're just gonna turn around and Sacred Flame.
Okay. I believe that's a Dex save, isn't it?
Yep.
It's gonna roll a 9. Not very good in the slightest.
It doesn't take any to 8, do I have any? That's a 10. I've got the 8. Oh, what does that do? 4 damage.
4 damage. Nice. Okay. It burns around it. It seems to squiggle a little bit in the flames. Not overly bothered. Anything else that Carly wants to try and do?
Yes. No, I don't know. Let me double check what we can.
I don't think he's got any bonus actions that he can use here.
Possibly, probably not.
So he's gonna cast Shield of Faith around Neva.
Take advantage of you controlling him, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a bonus, isn't it? So Shield of Faith around you. Nice. Just remember that exists. Cromwell, you are up next.
Well, I can just see him here now.
Yes.
He's in a straight line. We should have minus the D4 for his Sacred Flame. Did he fail it?
He failed it anyway, yes.
Okay, cool. I will Mind Sliver again.
Okay, intelligence save. Oh, it's getting worse and worse. That's a 5.
Takes 5 points of brain freeze damage.
Yeah, you see wincing a little bit. Somehow the wood seems to be contorting and twisting ever so slightly. You're going to move into the room, or just stay in the outer.
I'm gonna stay where I am.
Fair enough. Maisie.
I'll run back across, realizing Neva did not follow me.
Okay.
Natural 18 plus 5 to get across.
Yeah, you're fine. You get across fine.
And I'll stand just behind Cromwell here
Okay.
and take a shot. And I don't have to tell him to get out of the way because it's just right over his head.
You feel a crossbow rest on your head.
Dirty 20 to hit.
Yeah, it's going to hit.
Oh, and you're in combat with it, so I can... That's max crossbow damage. Sneak attack.
Ooh.
8, 2, 3, 13 damage.
Ooh, very nice. It goes into the back, and you can see the wood literally crack and split inwards slightly. Black secretion.
And then I'm going to quickly hide behind Cromwell.
Is that the mimic's name, Rowan?
What?
Max crossbow damage.
So it's Neva's turn.
You said that's max crossbow damage, damn it.
Neva is muted.
I am, aren't I? Right. So she's just gonna do a double smack.
Okay. Stab it twice, or at least attempt to.
One's a 24 and the other one's 16.
Yeah, they both hit.
What's that? Sweet. So 9 damage overall.
9 damage. Okay, you stab it twice, splintering in the wood. It starts to like flinch, blood, or the equivalent of what you assume is blood, dripping out of it. It's its turn. It's going to attempt to. Ooh, does it? No, you stabbed it much recently. It's going to attempt to bite you back. This time a 21. Because of this,
Alex?
which means you're going to take
Enough, I'm sure.
3 damage. No, I said
Wait.
this time. Because it's different. Kale is next.
Is there no gross sludgy damage?
No gross sludgy this time.
No, okay.
Okay.
Just mouth agape, staring at the sheet.
Well, no, I'm looking at doing sleep on it.
Yeah. So the way sleep works is you roll and you take its remaining health off the roll that you made, and basically if you roll higher than its health in this context, it will fall asleep.
So I need to roll 5d8, and if it's higher than...
Yeah, basically you roll 5d8, and that's a number, and then the number of people you want to sleep, you just, starting from the highest amount of health, you minus their health from the roll that you got, and then you can sort of work down all of the people. In this context, there's only one of them, and, you know, you've bashed it a bit, so you assume it has lower health.
Cool. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Roll your dice. If you get all ones, I'll laugh.
$27 altogether.
27 altogether. Ooh, yeah, it falls to sleep.
Cool.
It just closes down, bunk, and you can hear it ever so slight little sort of like snoring, buzzing noise coming from it. We're going to temporarily take us out of initiative, obviously, because it's just sort of sleep there. I believe it'll wake up if you smack it.
Yeah, I think it only lasts a minute.
You do get a crit though if you attack an
Yes.
unconscious thing.
That is true. But it is asleep for about a minute. You'd know you have about a minute.
So if that's the case, Callie's going to quickly check this door whether he can get it open.
Sure. He walks over. There's no door handle or anything, and it doesn't push open.
Okay. Then they'll both exit them.
Okay. They both leave past it, nice and gently. And you're now standing in the other room.
Do we not want to get it while it's asleep?
If you want to go in there and do it, that's up to you. I'm down quite bad.
Oh, I'm awful, but we have to go through this room at some point.
Cromwell?
I mean, I don't think I'll be any more effective than I would be as if it was awake. So if you want to take advantage of it.
I'm not doing it.
So, okay, I tell you what, you...
I'm just going to tell everyone to duck real quick and take a shot.
I'm going to hold an action, or what I was going to say, I will hold an action for when it wakes up to cast Simulate Drowning on it.
Okay.
Does anyone else want to hold an action to go at the same time? So that there's a lot of damage happening to it, and it's just not just one person triggering it?
Yeah, Callie will Sacred Flame, and then Neil will stab.
You'll have to be over next to it to stab.
Yeah, if it comes close, you'll...
Okay, so you're holding an action for if when they hit it, it comes close, then you'll attack.
Yeah.
You're behind
Neither.
Kale, so it won't ever get in range of you.
There we go.
Okay. So we've got a crossbow, a sacred flame, and I'm assuming a mind sliver.
Yeah, I'll do that instead.
Okay.
I'm assuming the crossbow will be an auto crit since it's sleeping.
I
You still
think
have
you've
to
got to be
roll
in
to
melee for that.
Do you still have to roll the hit? Or does it auto, do you just count as hitting? I don't know how unconscious it works.
I was like,
Look. Yeah, let's have a look, shall we?
Unconscious. Attack rolls have advantage. It's a critical hit if the attacker is in melee, I think.
Okay, so you'll have advantage to hit. It's not an auto hit, and it's melee. That's where you get the advantage.
Okay, then I'll go up and melee it.
The crit. Okay, so you walk up with your knife, attempt to stab it.
Fuck you, you piece of shit.
Carly's going to do a... Now, with the spell, it's not going to be able to do a dex save, so I'm going to say Carly's is a guaranteed hit. No.
Yeah, I think they just fail if they're unconscious anyway.
Exactly. And then
18 to hit.
18 does hit. And then the intelligence save, if you're doing a mind sliver, I assume it's the same deal, because it's not thinking, it's kind of just happening.
Let's have a look.
So, is it automatically a crit? If it hits?
For you, it is.
Yes.
Cool. So then...
I'm just going to double check on the conditions. Unconscious.
So
an unconscious creature is incapacitated, can't speak or move.
Yeah.
They automatically fail strength and dex saves. Attack rolls have advantage. Any attack within melee is auto crit. I don't think it does anything to the mental saves.
Okay, so if you're going to do it, it will
take actions or reactions. Yeah.
Okay. So roll the damage for the Sacred Flame. I will roll an intelligence. I'll roll an intelligence save, which it amazingly got a 16.
-4 because it failed my last one. Minus a D4 rather.
13.
I think 13 is the save. Yeah.
Just okay. So how much damage from the crit stab into its spinal column or its hinges?
So the first dagger does 16 damage as I stab into it. And the second one, since it's part of the same action now as you talked about, is an extra 1 damage, so 17 damage.
Okay.
And where did we talk about that, Rowan? That's right on 1D&D Talks.
Sacred Flame was 6.
He takes over one session and he's just advertising the fuck out of it.
It's like we can't keep advertising just one session. There's a whole other rest of the podcast to watch.
If you run a carpet shop, what do you advertise? Carpet.
If Neva goes over and also stabs it, I will also say contextually, I think you will then also get sneak attack damage.
Yeah.
Neva will go over.
Okay. I just got sneak attack before because it was advantage, which means already get sneak attack.
That's true. So 17 from Maisie, from Neva. I'm just going to add them all up. So you roll to hit.
I'm just double checking what I'm rolling.
2d4.
We have to roll to hit first.
Yeah, to hit.
Good point.
With advantage.
Dirty 20.
Yep, gonna hit. So roll your damage with the sneaky tikis.
Do I get advantage on both knives or just one?
It is prone from being unconscious, so yes. But you don't get crits because it's no longer unconscious.
Yeah. The second knife is 16.
That also hits. And yeah, they're crits, so dash damage plus.
These ones aren't crits. It's not unconscious anymore, it got stabbed.
I was counting them all at the same time. I mean, technically not, but
sure.
Because of held actions, I know it's technically a bit weird with the rulings of it, but I'm just counting them all at exactly the same time, which means it wouldn't have woken up from any of them.
I'm
so
not
you should get a crit then.
Yeah.
And that's full dice damage plus whatever.
Full dice damage plus the dice plus the mods.
So it's oh god. It should be 13 by default, and then whatever your extra dice that you're rolling now are.
So my extra dice is 4, so that's 17.
Okay, 17 and 17, you both got the same. That's 34 damage. Plus the Carle's
6.
Which has to be more than enough to kill it since it fell asleep with a 27 sleep.
Which is 36. Hey, let's just work it out. What's the mind sliver? Oh no, the mind sliver saved. 36 damage. You just annihilate it. Flames lick up around it. You stab into it with a relentless rage, and its 9 health is taken down to 0 as it 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 doesn't wake up. It doesn't wake up.
I'm going to say.
It just and then opens up. This giant mouth folds open, and inside this wet pool of blood and saliva, you can see a couple of objects that yes, you will have to reach your hand in and grab.
I'll
You're
grab
out
them.
of initiative.
I would like to extract as many of its teeth as I can.
Sure, roll me a survival. I believe that's what we roll.
You know they're not going to stick around once we leave this place, right?
I don't know. There's so many conflicting things that have been hinted. Survival is a 14.
I reckon you get with a 14. You get 4 of them.
Okay, now Alex, not to read into this too much. Am I adding these to my existing stack of mimic teeth, or should I put them as a separate stack of mimic teeth?
Did you put them in the same place as the other mimic teeth?
I mean,
Alex, you are an
I
asshole.
would.
Yeah, then just add them onto the stack.
But for ease of doing things,
Just add them onto the
so
stack.
that also
That's
we
all good.
don't forget later as well.
It's fine, just add them onto a stack. The other thing that
putting it
happens
in
is the
his note so he
door to
doesn't
the
forget.
north. The door to the north also opens up.
To the north.
The north.
Nice.
The north. North.
To the north.
North. Right. So I will reveal what's in there, or get ready to reveal what's in there for you guys. As you reach into, I'm sure you reach into the gross, wet mouth, you pull out a small black card with a mint diamond
Oh,
on it,
Jesus.
shape on it, rather than a actual
Maybe.
diamond.
Say again?
Has anyone tried this other door?
No. Black card with what?
A mint, as in the color, diamond.
Bruv, that is mint.
Oops, well, I've now revealed that room, but that's fine. You're going to get to look at that in a second. I wanted to look at... That is mint, bruv.
I would like to have a look at this other door near me and see if it opens.
The door down to the south? No, that does not open.
Nope, the one near me, so it would be
The one
east.
near you?
Yes.
Oh, that one. Yes, you already tried that one. There is a light above it that is red, and when you approach it, it goes green, but the door does not open.
No, weird. Okay then. Where are we going? Oh, hey, does anyone know where Samir went? He kind of snuck off last time and we haven't seen him.
The other thing that you find inside of its mouth, because I was waiting for you to write it down, is a small statuette of a flail snail.
Are you okay, Paddy? Do you need some oil on your hinges?
I just realised made me realise I missed Simon.
What, about flails now? That's rude.
No, you don't know what's happened to Samir. Contextually, he went and didn't come back.
He's ejected from our fake reality.
I think he's dead.
Yep.
I think the school killed him and they're trying to kill us to cover it up.
Yeah, that tracks.
So the room to the
guys, I
north-
want to go back and try to touch the goo.
The goo.
I'm gonna come with you.
I guess me and Cal will stay here then.
That's fine.
Try not to
Probably wants
die.
touch the goo as well, honestly.
Was he hit? He was. Was he? Was he?
Yes.
Fucking worry.
That was Cal saying that he was also come and touch the goo.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll stay here then and
This is just whilst you're pulling out the teeth.
that's fair.
You all go back and you each touch the goo, and you are healed up, full heals, but you notice that because a little bits of it were disappearing every time you do this, there's none left after this.
That's fine.
One back. But yes, you get your full heals, which I believe I was
What's
before.
Cal's health on?
Full.
Just click the long rest button. Oh, Alex will have to click the long rest button.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. Actually, I think he was already fine, but he'll get his spells as well.
As far as I was aware, it was full. Has he got his spells back?
He
Yeah.
will do.
Cool.
So it's just refresh the sheet because I've long rested him. So to the
He was
north.
already on long rest for me anyway. Like, full. Because I can't change anything on his sheet.
Fine. To the north, room 28. It's a 25-foot by 25-foot diamond. Nice and interesting. Which is 15 foot tall and has the same cobblestone aesthetic as the area you've been walking through. The room is set up like a blacksmith with all sorts of machines and devices around the room. I'm not going to specifically mention any of them. Yeah, I'll let you do investigations or stuff in your own context before I give you any more.
Well, I'm scared now. I touched a box and it grew teeth.
You said it's a blacksmith. Is there anything that looks like it would be a furnace or kiln or wherever you would put fire?
Yes, there is a furnace.
Is it lit?
It is not lit.
Or is it just kind of like, okay? What are the vibes?
Not as immaculate as they could be.
Cool. I am going
Slowly
to.
degrading every time you make a joke.
I'm going to start a fire in the furnace.
You
I'm
try
going to
to
start
start
a
it,
fire in your heart.
Doesn't
I've
seem to light.
I've had a good idea.
For the podcast, he has a light bulb, which he just turned on above his head. No, you try to light it, but there doesn't seem to be any way to light a flame inside there. You can put a fire inside there, but obviously that's not going to burn as high as a furnace would.
Yeah, I was just going to press the digitate one and just go boop. But if it just goes out, if there's no fuel there, then
Well, you can put a yeah. There's no fuel to catch. That's the thing.
Yeah, then it'll just go out. Then I would imagine. Actually, no. It lasts an hour. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
A fire is there.
Yeah, a prestidigitated one, which I'm not convinced produces any heat, but you know.
You can light campfires and stuff.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, hang on, no, it's you instantaneously light. So it's a lighting thing. It doesn't create fire anywhere. Okay, so if there's nothing to light, then no fire.
Then there you go.
Instead, I'm just going to make a mark of mimic was ear. We use prestidigitation on one of the things.
Fair enough. Yeah, if you have a look around the room, which I'm assuming you're going to, you'll notice slowly that there's not a lot, in fact. In terms of tools and things, there's none that are pick-upable, apart from a wrench.
Oh, is that it? You said it like it was the first in a list.
Yeah, it's a wrench and then a wrench. It's the same wrench as the first wrench.
Okay. I completely tuned out for a second there. Have we investigated?
Maisie, pick up the wrench.
Okay.
When you pick up the wrench, you realize that it is in fact tethered to the ground with a cable. This cable goes down sort of behind one of the machines, which is attached to the ground. And as you pull it, it is still attached to this cable. It is a very long cable. In fact, the more you pull it, the more cable seems to come out.
I don't think they want this leaving this room. Can I just kind of walk around the room and see if it just works for the length of the room?
It works for some of the room. To answer your question previously, no, none of you have investigated the room yet.
Can I do that while I'm walking around, seeing how far the wrench can go?
Sure.
Oh, I'm so good at investigation. 15.
15. I mean, to be fair, for level 1, that's actually
It's a
not that bad
it's a plus
of a
2.
roll.
I just rolled pretty well.
You walk around. Yes, it doesn't leave the room, and you're confused. Very confusing. But one thing your investigation does show is that the machine that this goes behind is attached to the ground with bolts.
Hey guys, I'm gonna try to unbolt this thing from the ground.
Do you know how to do that?
I mean, they just get the bolt within the thing of the wrench, and then just right.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, just checking. Sometimes you guys say things that it's like, wow, you're super sheltered, and sometimes you're like, oh, I know how to do this, like stab people.
Well,
I'm trying to find where the balance is of your like practical everyday knowledge.
I mean, I haven't really
It's just
done it.
it's
I
a hard
haven't
mark.
really
You
done
will
it.
never find the balance because we don't even know it.
I mean, we've seen the Blackwoods do stuff with like this all the time. That's about the extent of it. I'm gonna do that though.
Okay.
Maisie doesn't know the righty tighty lefty loosey rule though, so she's probably gonna try to spin it right first.
Okay, so you're pushing really hard, and it's moving just a little bit, and you're like, "Why is it not undoing?" Is anyone clever enough to know the context?
This is.
Have you
I
tried
mean-
going the other way?
I'm
no,
not.
good
I'm
call,
not
good
standing
call.
over her shoulder watching. So
Now,
Try the other way.
it's a struggle to undo it because of how much you just tightened it. You're like, "Ah!" And eventually it yanks open, and yes, you eventually manage to get
Okay.
off.
Can it be that
Little
much that she's putting so much pressure against it that when it finally opens, she goes gambol?
Oh yeah, for sure. You fall
No,
on your
if
ass.
it's putting up that much resistance, she's already on the ground trying to push it with her feet.
And then the wrench goes flying.
Yeah,
across.
the wrench goes across the room for sure.
You manage to unbolt this big block of a machine from the ground.
for anyone listening who's not from the same region of the UK as us English people, a gambol is a forward roll.
That's true.
It's like a super specific. It's one of the very few regional things that we have for our area of
Is
England.
it regional? I never knew
Yeah,
that.
it's super specific to the kind of around Birmingham area. There's another thing of around Solihull and Coventry where at the end of words that end in ing, we add a K. So my mum's really bad for this. So she'll say, "Oh, there's something."
Yeah.
I
Once
didn't
you
know
hear
that was regional as well.
Yeah, it's a super specific regional thing. Thinking.
Can I move the thing? The now that
It's extremely
think-
heavy. You are going to have to make a
think.
strength check.
somebody help me out. It's heavy.
Cal, get in here.
I can do much.
Carly will also do a strength
I
check.
just need help. I don't need you to be the focus of it. Just help. Wink,
Okay.
wink.
Yeah.
I'm going to say you can't do advantage in their help in this way because for strength for pulling something, how are they going to help you other than literally using their own muscles?
I don't know.
That's why I'm not helping.
Ask D&D mechanics. I don't fucking know.
No,
Well,
Carly will roll as
Neva
well.
tried
It's
to
an
help
average
by
anyway.
using her own muscles and it didn't go very well.
Carly actually did pretty well, so
I rolled a
that's
natural
okay.
1.
So did Neva.
Carly rolled a 16, but unfortunately your two natural ones are definitely going to...
We're
Outweigh
pulling
that.
it.
He's
While
like
Cal's
pulling
pushing
it
it.
with all of his might, and you are both just like...
Leaning against it.
I can't do it.
No, the worst part is Macy's trying. That's the worst part of it.
No, I reckon it moves just a little bit to a point where you can see where this wire goes down behind the machine. Struggle to get to, but you can see what's back there, and you can see that the wire goes down. There's a massive amount of wire sort of looped up, which is what was letting you walk around. I thought it's probably not looped up anymore because you were already walking around the room. And then that wire is attached to a loop on the ground that is attached to the ground with more bolts.
Is it accessible?
Not currently.
Would it be accessible to someone of my size?
Potentially. I'd probably make you do a acrobatics check.
Can I aid its acracrobatics? Can I like hold him Upside down.
Okay, sure, I'll allow that. Acrobatics with advantage to see if you can slip yourself in.
Hey, Cromwell, here. You do this. I'll hold your feet.
Before we do this, first things first, I'm going to take off my coat so it's not flapping around in my eyes. I'm going to take off my hat so it doesn't fall off and then I can't get to it.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing, are you confident you're going to be able to hold me? Because if you drop me, I'm going to be quite unhappy.
Well, okay, let's test it first. I'm going to try to pick you up and see how light you are, and then we can figure it out from there, huh?
Okay.
He's not super light, I'd imagine, because you're not particularly strong. Roll me a...
I'm more than average.
You are?
Yeah. Athletics is... That's a natural 19. Plus 5.
Why do you keep saying natural?
Because it makes more sense in my brain that way, so it's 24 to pick him up.
Yeah, you're fine. You reckon you could hold him upside down for a couple minutes?
Yeah, I'm good for a couple minutes.
Your arms will be sore, but you'll be able to do it.
Just need a good stretch afterwards.
How hard was it to loosen the bolts generally?
Well, it's I went the wrong way first, which I think made it worse. It's not terribly bad. I didn't have to roll or anything for it.
Okay. Well, in that case, let's just try this first, and I will squelch the tentacle out of my wand and attempt to do it that way.
No, it's more poundage than that.
Poundage?
Damn it.
Poundage, yes.
I don't like that phrasing.
It's a term.
I don't like it.
He's got an A level in it. You've got to believe him. Right.
He doesn't even know what an A level is.
For context for our non-British people, an A level is the qualifications you get in our college/sixth form at 17 and 18.
Yeah.
Is it still the qualification nowadays?
I think so.
Still
I know
no.
they changed GCSEs, but I think they already changed the grading, haven't they?
Yeah, I think they're still called GCSEs, which is our 11 to 16.
We can't keep doing this bit.
Does anyone know what it stands for? I'm assuming it's General something
General
education.
Certificate of Secondary Education. Come on, let's move on with the...
All right. Right, lift me then.
Yeah, flip him over.
You dangle him through this tiny little space that you're sort of... give me...
I have my shirt is proper tucked in and everything. I'm kind of
So
blowing any hair that
this was
falls
to
out
give you advantage on rolling an acrobatics check to see if you could
Yeah.
contort yourself into such a position.
Right, well that's a 19 on one of them, and a 12 on the other. So do I have any additions to acrobatics? I don't. So it's actually no. I have plus, it's just not proficiency. So 21.
Yeah, that's more than good enough. Yeah, you get squidged in. It's very tight. You reckon if Maisie let go, you wouldn't fall, but you wouldn't be able to get out again. And you slowly undo 4 of these bolts until this plate is loose from the ground. And I mean, it's really up to you. Do you pull him back out?
Does he let me know that he's
No,
done?
leave him there.
Yeah, I'll tell you when I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
how strong have you done that?
Not that strong.
Okay.
It's Maisie. Not that strong.
There'd be a little momentum to just try to get you upright, but that's about it.
Okay.
Was that to see if you throw up?
No, it was for something else, something minor, but it wasn't a 1. It was a 2, so we're good.
So, you pull out Giggity, and you have you have a wrench attached to a long wire, but you can now remove it from the room.
Is this all we were in here for?
I mean, we have rope, and I can make a wrench. So
wait, why did we need the wrench? I just saw that we could.
The other room?
I don't know. I just saw that we could unbolt things, and I was like, well, I guess we're gonna unbolt things.
You would remember you already tried making a wrench to undo the bolts on top of the machine in room 46, and it would not undo.
Yeah, I was thinking another room needed it. Because was that room 46 I started in? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Yes.
This session, yes.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Is it worth doing another investigation in here?
I'll have a look around. Now that I've had a shift in perspective on this room.
Quite literally.
Yeah. But I will investigate these machines, Alex, if I may.
Sure.
19.
19. As you look closer into them, especially since you have been working fairly closely with some blacksmithing machines recently to work on the Warforged, you realize that a lot of them don't look as though, even if you could get them started, they'd work. Like pulleys and belts seem in random places, holes and like air gaps and stuff are just a bit messy. It doesn't seem as though this ever was, could be, or is currently a working blacksmithery.
That's interesting.
In fact, it's rather shambly put together, which is weird considering most of this place so far has been quite well put together.
I'll say, well, it seems like this place is what someone who doesn't know anything about blacksmiths thinks a blacksmith looks like. So
Yeah, this is what a blacksmith looks like.
I just remembered that Valko put this one together, and that's very, very funny considering.
that's what I was thinking. But we don't know that.
Oh, that's very good.
When did we find out that Velka put this one together?
In the
Beginning of last week.
Yeah,
in,
last recap.
So we know. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
Okay, well,
All right. Well,
unless we're supposed to fix this stuff, but it doesn't look like there's stuff that is fixable. It just is not functional and couldn't be functional.
I guess it was just like a big box for this wrench.
I guess.
Alrighty. On our way back to room 46, can I see if I can retrieve my crossbow bolt from this dead mimic?
No.
Roll me a. Ooh. Let's see if they survived first, because Okay. It looks as though it's possibly recoverable. So give me a sleight of hand.
19.
Sure. You get one.
Cool. I only shot the one. So.
Well, then you only get one.
Yeah, I'd be more surprised if I got more.
You get 3, and you don't know how.
I just want you to know I have been marking off every crossbow bolt that I fire. So.
I believe you.
I've only fired 5 so far.
I never paid that much attention when I needed to do that.
I think you're the first person I've ever met
I know.
to actually count.
That's why I'm bragging a little bit, because I'm doing it.
You guys brag about the weirdest things.
Shut up.
Hang on.
No, we don't.
I'm having
Fucking nerds.
Did we try this door?
Yes, it wouldn't open.
Is there a keyhole or anything?
No.
Can I kick it?
One of these. Sure. Give me a attack
Sorry.
roll.
I knew there was something, Rowan. You've given me a little flashbulb moment of like, I'm sure, and I was right. There is something in the DMG about recovering arrows and ammunition. So you didn't even necessarily need to count it up if that's what you guys were wanting to doing. So each time you attack with the weapon, you spend ammunition, etc. At the end of the battle, you can recover half your expended ammunition by taking a minute to search the battlefield. For some reason, they spent time putting that in the DMG.
Weird.
Huh.
I rolled a 6 to hit.
I'd still see if they survived or not, just because they don't always. You roll a 6 to hit. It's a pretty pathetic kick. No one was watching, so no one saw. But like,
Cal was in the room, but he's doing his idle animations.
yeah. But it was like a just into the door.
I just walk away. Pretend it
That's
didn't
not
happen.
Okay.
Make sure my shirt's still tucked in. Put my hat on. Put my coat back on.
Mm-hmm.
Has the wrench been left in here, or did someone take the wrench?
I don't know.
Maisie took the wrench.
Okay, good.
Now, I got an important question. Is Maisie taking the wrench and collecting all of the wire, or is she just going to let the rest of that like just drag and flick around behind?
She probably dragged it out of the room. And
Oh,
then once
definitely drag.
Yeah, once she kicked the door, she was like, it'd probably be a lot easier if I wrapped this up around the wrench. And then
Fair
did that.
enough.
I don't want to walk through the water, so I'm taking the bridge again, and I rolled a 22 acrobatics.
Yeah, off you go across it perfectly fine.
I do what I want.
Neva doesn't want to get wet, so she's going to roll acrobatics as well. Which I think, if I can find the fucking thing, there it is.
I'm
It's a
just gonna-
19!
19. Very well. Very well done. I'm assuming Cromwell's just going to walk through the water. Same with
Yeah.
Carly. just accept
Well-
that it's not happening.
You said it was like a foot high, so
Yeah.
Cromwell's going to wade.
Why do they have to make the water so deep? Meanwhile, Carly's just having a little wander through. Okay, and you get back to the machine room. Yes, you can see that on a panel on the top there's a load of bolts, which they are about the same size as the wrench that you have collected.
Cool.
Luckily.
Spinning it right first. Oh shit! No,
Yeah.
not
So
that
when
direction,
you
not that direction.
touch the wrench to the bolt, it like always flashes blue, kind of like a confirmation. And then you can undo it. Yeah, it takes ages. There's like 16 of them, an unnecessarily large number
Like
for a small panel.
like screwing in a monitor into its V plate or whatever the fuck it's
Yeah.
called. It's not a V plate. I don't like that.
Are you talking about a Visa mount?
Yeah, there we go. It's a V mount.
A V plate. And eventually you get the top popped off, and you can see the inside. You can see all sorts of pulleys and cogs and all sorts of things. And it seems an item got jammed in the mechanics. Something that you would have heard when you put in the last coin. It was called great horribleness. It is in fact an amethyst scale key.
Oh, very nice.
Scale key.
Yep.
Yes.
It's a
As
dragon.
in for the chest.
Yeah.
You also can see that a good few parts have been damaged inside and seem to be in such a situation that they could be replaced. I'm going to just say that Cromwell, you'd be the one that'd be able to tell. You've got some mechanics knowledge behind yourself. The parts that are damaged. A dog? No. Just whimpering in the background.
The other
apparently.
scale keys we had are the red and the gold, right?
So you have the red, which you use, and I believe it dissolved.
Yeah,
into
it's
nothing.
dissolved, and the gold we are holding on to.
You've got the gold, which you're holding onto, and the amethyst is the one you just got. So the parts inside that are damaged, you probably want to write this down.
We're halfway, guys.
A metal rod.
Hang on, let me get my notepad up. Or is someone else writing these down?
I got it.
A metal rod, 2 springs, an L-bar, a metal disc, and a pulley belt.
Oh, we have some of those.
We have the pulley belts right next to us, I'm pretty sure, as well. Okay, knowing that, I will input the disc, the dowel, the L-bar, and the springs.
The disc does not fit the rest.
Are you
the
fucking
dowel,
kidding
the
me?
springs, and
What the
L-bar
hell
too.
is this silver disc for that we've had for ages?
Dunno.
Okay, so we're missing the disc and the pulley belt, right?
No, you picked up the pulley belt.
Oh, did we? Oh, I think, okay. I didn't know we picked up the pulley belt. I thought we took something out of the pulley belt. Okay, then the pulley belt's also in there, so we're just missing the metal disc.
So use that.
I've asked Cam how his
Yes.
first time playing Pokemon Violet's gone. He said Arven is a little weenie.
Yes, nobody likes Arven.
Need.
So, Yes, you put all those, but yes, the metal disc that you have is the wrong size for this. It absolutely does not fit.
Alex, I want you to know it's absolutely infuriating to me.
It's just, don't worry, you don't want to see it anyway. All it is Velka's sex tape. On DVD.
We've already confirmed it's not a DVD.
It's definitely a... Oh, no, that's right, it's a Blu-ray. You said it was smaller than a DVD.
It's not.
My question would be, why would she leave it in this maze that she created for students to find? That would be my concern.
I just don't think she's a very good teacher.
She was watching it whilst making
Stop ruining the legacy of Belga, the beloved character. Okay.
Did you just drop your dog?
Is she on the ground looking up at you like, what the fuck? Yeah.
She just slowly slid off my arms. I couldn't help
Oh.
her.
We have our next thing for when Purdy's not here of what she's off doing.
Dropping dogs.
Dropping dogs.
I truly believe, or I truly see Velka as Alex and I's love child.
What can I hear?
Purdy's music is what you hear.
They can't.
So you're gonna have to confirm for me. I believe you found.
Alex has no comment on this.
In room 53 with the mirror, yes, you got a piece of paper with the number 6 on it. Yes, you did. I gave that to you. And in room, and in room 50, when it drained, you found a piece of metal with the number 2 etched onto it. Confirmed.
Oh, that must be what 2 metal means.
I have 2 metal.
And I still have +1 AC for 3 hours. So we have a 6 and a 2.
But we've been in here for years.
Oh, what was the thing jammed in the machine?
The key.
Oh, yes, right. Fuck. Sorry.
That was
yes.
the purple key.
Yeah.
I don't have enough space on my desk.
Yeah. I mean, we can go back. Because there's 2 rooms that we haven't figured out yet. 48 and 49. We don't know what the fuck's going on with them.
48 had a chest.
Jeez.
49 we did. 49 was the one with the grate, I think. No?
I don't think so. What was 49, Alex?
Room 49.
Yeah.
That has a statue in it, which you could put something in its mouth, but you weren't sure what.
I think we made a giggity joke at that the first time around as well.
Yeah.
Where was the grate? What am I thinking of?
You're thinking way back, right when we got into like the steampunk area. Room 44.
What was 48 then?
That's the box. I think it needs a code. Which we have 2 numbers, I think.
We don't know what order they go in.
No.
Like if we knew that they were the first and second ones, then we could just brute force the rest. But because we don't know which order they are, that still leaves quite a lot of options.
We could still try to brute force it.
Sure. Let's do that. That's our next best option.
Yeah.
Is all other doors, Alex, correct me if I'm wrong, are currently locked to us, correct?
Yes.
Cool. We're gonna brute force the numbering, not like forcing it open. We're gonna brute force the chest.
So you're going to go from 1 to 9999.
No, because we already know 2 of the numbers, we think. So it'll cut down time by like half.
You sure you want to do that?
Why are you saying it like that? There are 4 numbers, right, that we need?
Yes.
And they're just 1 to 9, like a little spinny dial guys.
Yes.
The way that he said, "Are you sure you want to do that?" makes me think it's going to hurt us if we try. And I think he just added that to his notes so that we don't do that.
Oh no, I was checking other thing. I'm checking future proofing.
If we don't do that, though, the thing is, I don't know what the fuck we do.
Okay, I will tell you do have the thing for room 49. It's not like you're missing any objects. I wonder if it's Carly's inventory there.
What's it a statue of?
Okay, I'll go back to room 49. It is... Yeah, a statue of what looks like an unknown adventurer in fancy armor and holding a sword in his right hand. But there is like a small hole in his in the mouth, as if he would be holding something in his mouth.
Can we investigate to figure out what the fuck it looks like would fit in there?
Sure, roll an investigation.
We didn't pick up any kind of cigarette holder or something, did we?
I rolled a natural 1.
Or a pipe?
You have no fucking clue. Roll a history from Cromwell.
Do we find a pipe? That is...
I think
23.
I think we do have a pipe, and Kale probably has it in his inventory.
History-wise, you picked up some stuff off the body of Mr. Deadman. One of which was a cigar.
I don't remember that at all.
I don't remember either.
I figured.
I got absolutely no idea.
I'm foreseeing a lot of that stuff that we forgot. With so many people dipping in and out.
That's why history checks exist.
I'm gonna turn to Cal and go, Cal.
Yes.
I think you picked up that cigar and have been keeping really quiet about it, and I don't approve of your intention to take up smoking. So if you want to give it to this statue.
Yeah, he pulls out a cigar and gives it to you. You pop it in the mouth.
I mean, I'll make it up to the mouth.
When you put it in the mouth, the statue moves around in a kind of a robotic way and puffs out some white smoke whilst holding onto the cigar. The cigar ashes fall to the floor and fall into a perfect little number 5.
Okay, now we can brute force it.
We still don't know the order, so it'll still take a little while.
Just a little bit. So I guess we'll try that.
You sure?
I'm gonna try at least one to see if it hurts.
We're doing that because we don't know what else to do, Alex. It's not our best idea. It's our only idea.
I'm aware. It's more just running investigation checks in places that you haven't run investigation checks, I guess.
I don't know where we haven't.
Well, then why not?
We're gonna brute force it.
Fine, you brute force. It's gonna take you a long time to do, I guess.
Is it gonna take a long time?
I mean, it's still frustrating to not having any specific order, unless you're trying to do it in a specific order.
Let's. We might as well name a specific order, just on the off chance that we get it right.
Okay. How
So
about the order that we found the plate?
We should do it in order of the rooms that we found. Not the order that we found.
So starting with this one, 5. And then we found the 6, right? And then the 2. No, where did the 6 drop from? Did the 6 drop from the mirror?
Yes.
Okay, so 5 to 6, and then 1 through 9.
None of those are correct.
Damn it!
Okay, try it as 1 through 9, and then the 3 numbers.
Sure, yeah. We'll do that.
Sure.
Just in case it was earlier and we missed it.
The correct thing is, in fact, 1, 5, 2, 6. You are right on that one. I'm going to just meta you into the number 1 is on the chest that you never investigated itself.
Pretty sure we did.
Hence why I'm just going to let you Bruce Willis it, because you should have seen that one anyway. You put in the code. You open up the chest. And inside, simple 3 things. A key with a purple circle on it. A key with a purple circle on it. A metal disc. and a dinner plate.
Okay. Let's
Okay.
let's hold on to the door real quick because we can finish 2 other puzzles.
I also have a question, Alex. The door where Neva is and the door where Cromwell is, are those different colours or the same colour? Because
One's
I'm
purple,
struggling
one's
to.
magenta.
They're different.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you'll never really find that because the shapes are also different for that exact reason, because obviously there's only a certain number of colors. But yes, the star is a different color to the circle that you are looking at.
No, so I'm saying where Cromwell. I've moved Cromwell.
Where
Sorry.
Cromwell is.
So, but I mean the star as well. So the
yes,
so the
those two are
circle
different.
next to Neva, the star in the room that Maisie's in, and the circle next to me. All 3 of those are different colours.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Do you have the hex codes up as well? Or?
I don't, but there's pink and purple.
Yeah.
I appreciate if depending on monitor and stuff like
Good
that.
job. None of us are colorblind, no.
Well, if that was, I mean, I know you're not, but if you were, then
Imagine that being the thing of walking into a cave or a room, instead of everyone going, "I have dark vision," you just go, "I'm colorblind."
I mean, that's basically what dark vision is. You go colorblind for a little bit.
Yeah.
You get
Well,
grayscale.
for these losers, anyway.
I put the plate on the table where it is missing.
Sure.
For me, I just can't see anything.
Are there any other pieces missing from the table?
Yeah, so on the table, as you look around, you have put down a plate, a silver fork, a silver knife, and a goblet, but there's still a spoon and another plate missing.
Another plate?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit, yeah, there is.
Oh, damn.
Which is not the first silver disc that we have, because we checked that as well.
It is not that silver disc. They are very different. The plate is ceramic. That is a metal disc.
So then we'll take the disc and go back through here and put that as the last piece in the box.
Yes. You put that in. As soon as you put in that last piece and get your fingers clear, and put the top back on, because I assume you would do, because that only makes logical sense. The machine starts chugging away once again, as it had before, rotating and whirring on the inside. And the door for room 40, which is the one, I should say, to the north, pops open. Show you.
This one.
Display for you. Yes, it is. That one. Click in 17 places. Like that. Boink. Is a 25-foot diameter circle, about 15 foot tall, with the same cobblestone aesthetic as before. There is one wooden door on the east wall, which is locked with a padlock with a blue hexagon, and one wooden door on the west wall. Just as there was in the corridor in room 42, there is a red light above this door on the west wall that as you approach it, it turns green, but the door does not open. In the center of the room is a small jacuzzi.
Yeah, not getting in that. I've learned to not trust water in this place.
Neva's going to go across the thing and get to the other door that Maisie's on.
Sure. Just before you do that, there is one item resting on the edge of the jacuzzi, which is a little statuette of a ram's head.
Okay, I'll pick that one up.
You go around to the other side. Maisie, you going to stay standing in front of that door?
Yeah.
Wonderful. As soon as you get round to the other side, Neva, that light goes green, and you both hear an audible clunk as both of the doors open up.
Cool. Well, I guess they'd probably have to both be pulled outwards, because then they would collide with one another if they went inwards.
Or if one went out and one went in, then it wouldn't collide with it.
They both swing both ways.
Whoa! Nice, very progressive.
What a dungeon of many different colors.
Yeah.
Like a rainbow.
Yep. Truly.
Are you okay then, Joe?
You're all losing your mind from this, which is, at the end of the day, my entire purpose for making this whole dungeon.
No, I am. It's kind of dawning on me that I may have come closer than I thought to being electrocuted earlier, but that's fine.
I really hope that the feat that we get from completing this is just the strongest mental resilience that anybody could have in
no longer
Dungeons
be
and
stunned.
Dragons. Yeah.
No,
Part of me is kind of hoping it is the shittest feat you could get.
I would be so
It's a
upset.
sense of pride and accomplishment.
I was gonna say,
feeling none of that.
when was it established we were getting a feat from doing this?
Yeah.
It's never been established. So you walk in. It's just a tiny little corridor, and at the end is a middle finger. No, it's
It's a
at the end
Oh,
is a little rack of 3 healing potions, and
yes.
how many of you are around? 4 cupcakes.
Okay. I'm gonna pass a healing potion back to Neva.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll put one in
She's
my
taking
bag.
it straight away.
You don't
Are
need to
you?
say it
No,
straight
you
away.
don't need to. You're fine.
Yeah,
You touched the goo.
do we long rest?
Yeah, we
touched the
touched
goo.
the goo.
I thought the goo wasn't there anymore.
That was after you touched.
That's
Oh,
actually-
I struggled with the bit in between.
You consumed the goo.
Yeah, the goo was consumed through
Yep.
your fingertips.
I'll pass another potion to Kale. Cromwell just hasn't been touched this entire dungeon, so I'm assuming you aren't really.
This entire anything.
Yeah, I don't think you're
It's
in.
because I'm more careful. I'm more careful than you guys.
Just shut your face.
I shut your face.
And I'll
And
put
yes, then there's the Falcon.
yeah, the cupcake. Can I put them in? Like I'm going to eat them. So I'm assuming it's another long rest thing. So I'm gonna put it in my bag, and I'll pass one to Neva.
You are aware that you could put it in your bag, but it is one of these cupcakes that has like icing and cream on the top, which will get smushed and mushed everywhere.
Well,
You
I
are still
don't
welcome
need
to
it.
put it in your
I
bag.
still don't need it right now. So.
I mean, it's quite the assumption to assume it's a long rest thing.
Well, I'm doing great right now, so no matter what it does, I'm not doing it when I'm at full. If I leave them here, I will forget about it.
Forget about it.
Write it on your hand.
I mean, the Rowan the person will forget.
Write it on your hand.
No! I'm not leaving it there for however long it's until the next Red Dungeon session.
Neva will like neatly wrap it up in some of her reusable beeswax wrapping stuff she keeps with her
Why do you
Put it in
keep
a
that
bag.
with you?
because it's Neva.
You can.
Honestly,
I mean,
like,
I think you still know it's going to get smushed, but at least the
Oh, yeah.
the cream won't go everywhere.
that's her plan. Yeah.
Then fair enough. You have a
Do
cupcake.
you need some, Maisie?
I guess.
You always take the piss out of me for having it, but
The
oh,
voice of
look, you need it.
the voice of God is subtly threatening me, so I'm gonna do it.
Pass
I don't
one
know
out.
what you're talking about.
Neva is definitely one of these like reusable, natural everything as well. People.
Oh yeah, like really rich and pretends to care about the environment. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
I don't know why you guys make a big deal out of this. I'm just going to take out my mist kit and put it in there because that's a thing for food.
Yeah.
We don't have them.
We're rich. We don't keep that on us.
We don't take food with us anywhere.
Man, cabin fever's really starting to kick in this dungeon.
I even have like 10 portions of rations. Oh wait,
Why?
yeah,
Wait, what are they?
rations. It's just it's snacks to eat to keep you going. For
Oh,
example,
like these
dry-
cookies that I've got, and she opens up one of her little beeswax wraps.
I've got dry food suitable for extended travel, including jerky, dried fruit, hardtack, and nuts.
Yeah, Neva
Please
doesn't. She
don't.
has dry flowers and herbs.
Tasty.
So you have seasoning, but nothing to season.
Yeah. Oh, she's got prescription reading glasses that she's wearing.
Oh, good to know that they're prescription. Anything that's prescription is more fragile. That's the law of the universe.
Okay.
Well, what were we doing?
I think we all have our beeswax wrapped cupcakes now.
Yep.
I'm going to put cows in my mess tin as well.
That's fair enough.
I think Cal would be down with a beeswax wrap cupcake.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he doesn't really mind. He's not going to create conflict. There's already a little bit of conflict going on, so he's just going to feel like I don't.
Hey Cal,
Either
you
way,
want to take
really.
a dip in the hot tub?
Not particularly.
You're
Don't
our
see a
water
reason
guy,
to
though.
do so.
When you say
yes,
it's a jacuzzi, Alex, given that we've seen some kind of modern day stuff, is it a modern day
fair
jacuzzi,
enough.
or is it like
stone
a
circular
natural
wall?
spring?
Stone circular wall that is raised out of the ground, with stone steps into it, filled with water, and like sort of seating on the inside of it. It's more like a modern style, but made out of stone and older materials. So it doesn't have like an electric panel or anything. But
Okay.
it doesn't look like it's a like a spring in the ground that would be naturally created.
Okay. But it's recognizably full of hot water, like a hot spring.
Yeah, it's got the little mist over the top of it that you see from warmer water.
Cool.
I don't trust it.
Why don't you trust about it?
Just
I
as
just don't wanna get
broadly
wet,
to
so I'm not
every
going in.
other experience we've had with water in this dungeon.
Yeah, I was thinking more specifically, like you're worried that if you get in, you won't be able to get out. You're worried that a monster will come out of it. You're worried that it's actually poison.
I mean, pick your
It'll
flavor.
boil us
or
alive.
all of the above. I don't know.
Is it potable?
Potable?
Potable is like clean drinking water.
Oh. I mean, you can investigate it as much as you can try. Or do a nature check, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will-
What
I
I'm
will-
gonna
if
need
our-
to check.
I was about to say, what if one of our smart people did that?
Yeah, what do you think I'm doing it for?
I'm doing it.
Nature, I got a 17.
17.
Good, because I got a 9.
So you got a...
A 19.
A 9. Lying on your rolls, honestly. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't.
Only to other players.
It doesn't seem to have any of the obvious signs of being dangerous water. There's nothing floating in it. It's very nice and crystal clear. There's no,
There's just a brown log
odd
floating in
bits.
it.
It doesn't guarantee that there's no like microorganisms in it from like a biological state, but you're pretty convinced that it's just water, slightly warm, which would be weird to drink, but other than that, it's just kind of water, fairly standard water.
I'm gonna freeze a 5-foot cube of it and see if anything happens to it.
You freeze a 5-foot cube. A very large ice block appears. Immediately starts melting gently at the edges, but you notice that the rest of the water stops making as much steam. Just generally affects the temperature of the entire spring
Okay.
thing.
Well, if there was a water elemental in there, it's now very cold or dead.
I'm going
There is
to
also-
stab the water.
There is also the possibility that it is just supposed to be like a nice relaxing thing, seeing as there was also cupcakes.
I'm not convinced that there's two nice things this close together.
I mean, they were there with health potions, so...
How about we go down to the other room, open the door, and then come back to here when we're feeling a bit more.
Sure.
Okay. It's our only way back into the room with the bars on it, though, so... Going through that door.
Yeah.
Alright, neither goes down to the one with the circle.
The purple circle. So if you'll remember, which you weren't there, this story actually has more of a sandstone aesthetic. It's strange, but it does have a lock on it with the purple circle on it, and you use the purple circle key to unlock it successfully. You open up the door. It's an interesting room. It's 35 by 25 feet, about 25 foot tall, and obviously has a very different aesthetic to the stone bit that you were just in. There's one sandstone door over on the west wall, and the room has the aesthetic of like an old desert temple with carvings in what doesn't actually look like a real language, and there's pillars There's 4 evenly spaced pillars around the room.
So Minecraft Desert Temple.
Yeah, kind of that kind of thing, but not in Minecraft. Light sandstone, brown
Really?
walls, dark painted figures all over them, performing various farming actions. The ground is made of sand, slightly warm to the touch, like in a desert, but has small lumps in it. It's mostly like an even sand pit, but there's small lumps at various places within. In the center of the room is a box on a podium with a lid that can be hinged closed.
So the box is currently open.
Yes.
I don't like this. The bumps in the ground. I don't.
I'm gonna summon the tentacle. Do we want to disturb one of the bumps?
No,
See what
no. If you listen, if you want to
Yeah,
do that,
you
you
can
can
with
go
the
in front.
tentacle.
You can go in front.
I was thinking we'd do it from a distance.
Mm-hmm. Just gonna.
I mean, it's I'm asking the group. I'm not making a
Yes, do
unilateral
it.
decision. Okay, that's 1 for yes.
I just
That's
want to
one
avoid
for-
them. I just want to
Okay,
avoid the
one-
bumps.
That's 1 for yes. 1 for fuck no. Cal, what do you think?
What was the question? He's not even there. He's over in a different room.
Yeah, we can't move
Are
them.
we?
No.
Shall I
You can't.
remotely disturb one of the bumps?
I mean, I don't know what else we do, so
I would rather do that from outside the room than inside the room.
fair enough.
Okay, I will step forward. I'll just kind of stretch a little bit, and I will fling the tentacle 30 feet away, or as near as, like, the furthest bit that I can.
Mhm.
So that is this one. Can you see that? Yes. I will get the tentacle just to kind of like lightly kind of swipe over it.
Okay. So you swipe over it, and your tentacle hits something solid within the sand as the sand falls down. It is a small clock, like a classic alarm clock style, 2 bells on the top kind of thing.
It will try and pick it up.
Picks it up.
So
Not
it's
particularly heavy.
as heavy as one of those things.
Yep. Seems to, in all ways, be a small clock.
Okay. I'm gonna have it turn around. Can I see what time it says?
Yeah. I'm sure you'll understand how important that is when I say it. The time says
4:20.
2:21. Yeah.
4:20. Okay. That's 1. Well, it's a clock.
It's about time.
Can you do that across all of them?
I mean, I guess we'll have to go into the room to get the ones that are further away.
We'll do
I'm
the
gonna-
ones closest, see what happens to them all first.
I'm gonna step forward a little bit so I get a little more room. So I'm just stood kind of in the doorway.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have it put it down on the floor,
Okay.
and then go over to the box and just kind of like have a bit of a flail around in there, see if it hits anything that we can't see.
Okay, so the box is large enough, definitely to fit the clock inside of. When you fiddle around inside, nothing seems to rattle or move. Do you attempt to close it?
I mean, how big are we talking? Like big enough for an alarm clock, or big
Yeah.
enough for several alarm clocks?
Just the one alarm clock.
Okay.
Maybe slightly larger, but like not like you're going to collect 7 alarm clocks and put them on them.
Okay. No, not going to try and close it yet.
Okay.
I'm going to uncover the one underneath the 5.
Okay. You fiddle around, and inside of there you find a small bell, like a little hand bell. Ring, 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 ring.
What are the
Okay.
squares on the map?
Those are the pillars.
What's on the pillars?
They're just pillars going from floor to ceiling made of sandstone.
Okay,
Actually,
I'm
I want to
gonna
investigate them, but I don't want to enter the room.
uncover the one to the right of the 5.
Okay. That one, you It's a little harder to find anything there, but you realise that there's something a lot smaller. It's a cork, like a bottle cork.
Okay. I'm going to uncover the one to the right of the northeastern pillar.
Sure. You uncover that. It's going to take a while. You uncover that, and inside of there is a hairbrush.
Okay, the one below that?
A small mirror.
Okay, and the one to the left.
A water skin.
Okay.
Which does feel as if it has water in it.
I will relay this. So this is the gist. That's about like a third to a quarter of the bumps that are in there. There could still be other things in there, but for now, nothing has indicated that we are in danger if we go in.
I think we should go in and uncover it all. Personally.
Okay.
Have fun.
Okay. So
You're not feeling invincible anymore?
Nope.
So you walk inside and uncover all of them.
Yep.
Okay. So you brush all of the different bits of sand away, getting sand all in your under your fingernails and all that. And eventually, and I will copy this to you so I don't have to write this down, you find this list of items. A small clock, obviously the ones you found. Some of these will be the ones you already found. A small clock, a small bell, a cork.
How strong is the Irish accent?
A small clock, a small bell, a cork, a box, which I just need to, which is ticking. Sorry, I'm spelling and all sorts of things that you know are awful. A box that is ticking, a gold ring, a sandal, a teapot, a book, a butter stick, a small mirror, or as it's been written here, a small mirror, a candle, a silver bracelet, a map of an unknown location, a hairbrush, an empty jar, a water skin with water, and an ink bottle.
And 5 gold rings.
No, there's only one gold ring in there.
Oh. Well, I'm guessing one of them's got to go in this box.
As you look at the box closer, which I am assuming you do, you realise there is in fact an inscription on the inside of the lid.
And it says?
You measure my life in hours, and I serve you by expiring. I'm quick when I'm thin, and slow when I'm fat. The wind is my enemy.
It's a candle.
Would you
Can you put that in
the
chat for us?
It's a candle.
We don't have a candle, do we? Oh,
Yeah,
do
we have a
candle?
There's a
Yeah.
candle in there.
We'll put a candle in then.
Okay, put the candle. Do you close the box?
Do we close the box? Somebody else make the decision.
Sure.
You close the box. It makes a very satisfying ding noise, and the box automatically opens itself again, and the candle is gone. And the inscription has changed, which now reads, which I won't need to type to you, what can run but never walk?
A river.
Water bottle.
Yeah.
Or the water skin.
You put that inside, you close
Yep.
it, you get another satisfying ding as it opens itself up. And this time it says, say my name, and I disappear.
The silence, but I guess we just close it without anything in it. Or is there anything in here that is indicative of silence? I guess an empty jar could be indicative of silence, but only in the same way that an empty box is indicative of silence.
And try the empty.
Try and close it without anything in it.
I'm waiting for confirmation that you are doing that.
Macy's still standing outside the room, so.
Sure, we'll close it without anything in it, as in thinking it would be the same kind of symbology as like an empty jar.
You close it. There's a few seconds this time before it eventually goes ding, and it is correct. And the door on the other side of the room opens.
Now that
You're a lot faster to go for put nothing inside than I thought you would be, considering there's so many other items. But fair enough. I applaud you.
We just want to get
I
out
like
of here.
riddles. I like riddles.
I put so much effort into something like this, and all you want to do is leave.
Look, Alex, it was fun the first session. I was hoping it was going to be done the second session.
I'm sorry, okay?
I'm still finding it fun. I'm just not very good at some of them. I have
It's too
very
much
specific
information for my head to
constraints.
cope with.
I tried.
We are appreciative.
We are very appreciative.
Yes.
Yeah.
I appreciate the
It was
work,
great.
but also Macy's at the point where it's like, I don't. No, this is far past anything I've ever done. I don't like this anymore.
The next room, 35 by 15 foot, 25 foot tall, same sandstone aesthetic with one open doorway on the western wall. There is a podium in the center of the room. There's a podium in the center of the room. I haven't written with a statue. I'm going to read exactly what I've written. There's a podium in the center of the room with its arms in a very odd position, with a statue on it, with its arms in a very odd position. One arm is bent, with its elbow the height of its head, and its fist by its face. The other arm is stretched out straight sideways in the direction the head is looking. There is nothing else in this room.
Like this?
Is it dabbing? It's dabbing!
Kind of like that, yes. What Joe was just doing, yes.
The statue is
Just want to confirm, I am not confirming it is dabbing, because that is not what Joe was doing.
The statue is dabbing.
You know what? If that's what you want to say, then you're more than welcome to.
I'm going to go up to it and be like, let's go!
Yeah!
Does the door open?
The door on the other side is just an open doorway. Hanging off the arm, one of the arms, is a key with an orange cross on it.
Nailed it. We got it.
Hey, you said you wanted an easier room.
I don't trust it. This statue's gonna come to life and kill us all.
See you too.
I'm enjoying that you don't trust anything. That's
Listen, I don't know how many times because I haven't been keeping track, but after the mimic fight, I was like, Macy's nearly died, like in probably half the rooms in this place. She's probably patience is probably wearing a bit thin.
There is the small matter of we have not yet come across any orange. So that's an entirely new section still left.
Sure.
the next room.
Oh my god, have you seen how much is left of this?
Yeah, I know. I try not to look at it until the end of each session.
Oh, we're probably going to break. The pain in your voices. It's beautiful to me.
Oh, yeah,
I
it's
hate it. I love it so much. I'll tell you what's in the next room and then we'll go for it. The next room is 15 by 25 foot, 25 foot tall, same sandstone aesthetic as before. There's one cage door on the west wall and one wooden door on the west wall. These are both right next to each other. And then there's one open doorway on the east wall. There's a large column in the center of the room which is sectioned into 4 parts, just horizontally, all of which are slightly different. The top section can rotate and has 5 symbols on it. After the break, I'll give this to you in writing. An elephant, a kangaroo, a panda, a bear, a mouse, and a whale. The second down has a set of depressible numbers in a grid of 3 by 3 from 1 to 9. The third is similar to the second, but has letters instead of numbers. And the fourth is another rotating section with a timeline going the whole way around.
My brain.
The answer is kangaroo 3 6 blue because it rhymes.
Kangaroo 36 blue. I love that. But no.
Time for a break.
I agree. We're going to take a 10-minute break. These guys are going to hate me even more than they already do. And
Oh wait,
we'll get through it all.
Do the end of the
We'll get through
episode
it.
thing. Do the end of the episode thing. It's paused now.
We're going to take a 5-minute break. I think you're all slowly losing your minds. We'll get back to it after you've all had 10 minutes. Get a cup of food.
Slowly.
Have some food.
Is it 5 or 10?
Should I
You
say
said,
10?
you've said both 5 and
We're
10.
going to have a 2-minute break.
It's
We're
10.
going to have a 5-minute break followed by
Alex,
another 5-minute break
I'm-
immediately.
I'm going to be gone for as long as it takes for my mozzarella sticks to cook. I'm telling you that right
Okay.
now.
We're gonna have
I'll have
break
a
as long as-
17-minute break at this point because that's how many minutes you've said altogether.
Okay, listen, if you never come back, honestly, firstly, won't blame you. Secondly, there's so much of me that loves how much this is hurting you, but then part of me that's just like, I feel so bad, but also I knew this would happen.
No, it's good. It's just it's
Oh,
an
I know.
endurance test for sure.
It's
I just
really
did it.
like wearing my head out.
If anyone doesn't come back, then I get to make up a new fun thing that they're off doing, like
Yeah, sounds fun.
dropping
dropping
You
dogs.
didn't say why my dad's not here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I was busy being nearly
Yeah.
electrocuted.
My
Yeah.
dad, honestly, it's the things that he does.
Do you want to say why he's not here now?
But did no one do that in my stead?
No, we
No.
forgot.
No.
It's a new thing that you do. Anyway, 10 minutes, we'll be back. Okay, goodbye. Pain.
Bye.
Sorry.
You will be. Goodbye.
Jesus.
Recording stops. I switch to BRB. I start the music up again, and now we actually disappear.
Washing machine. That multi-plug was wet.
Hello.
I was just thinking, if you have a multi-plug behind a dishwasher and a washing machine, that
Yes.
sounds like, water, electricity.
Do you know how I can figure out where the water is coming from? / advice.
Well, first of all, is it clean water?
Don't think so.
Because it's my first thought with that kind of thing is probably the overflow from the washing machine. So the way I would do it probably is I would run one of them with it out and just see if the water starts to leak out the back. Because if you look at what you'll need to do is you'll have the inbound pipes and the drain pipe, and they're probably attached by a plastic or nylon screw thread thing. So you get some tissue paper, because tissue paper is really good at showing water, and you go around the outside, make sure it's all dry before you start. So you make sure that the tissue paper comes away dry, and then you run it, and while it's running, you just dab some dry tissue paper around the outside. If any water's leaking through at all, it'll get wet really quickly. Tissue paper is fantastic at showing water. And that will be how you find out. So that will be what I'd do to start with. And if everything is looking dry, then the next option is it might be coming down the back of the units from the sink.
Cool. I will give that a try then. Thank you very much. Because my worry is because obviously from where at the back of the unit is kind of it's not as like polished off as like the rest of the kitchen. So it's a little hard to tell if it is clean water or not. But I'll give that a try. Thank you.
But that's how I do it to start with. Because if you've got a puddle, in fact, you might even be able to tell. If you look a bit more carefully, you might see any staining on the wall because it'll give you an idea of what height it's coming out at. But it's more than likely coming down and underneath somewhere. It might be that the seal's gone on your dishwasher or washing machine, just coming underneath through the casing. In which case, the only way to find that out would be to actually tip it forwards and look for any sort of marks underneath. I think.
Right.
Thank you.
Let's go straight into it because Rowan's going to leave close-ish to 6. So.
Has he?
They.
Have they? I know, I remembered. It takes a moment.
I didn't even get a countdown.
Yeah, I was switching to the right playlist, and I didn't realize it would.
Well, I haven't got my music going yet. That's not what I meant to do. No.
3, 2, 1.
Hello, and welcome to Dice Breakers, a TTRPG podcast and stream with mostly accurate rolls and inconsistent character voices. I'm Alex, your host and GM, and with me are Rowan, Purdy, Mark, and Joe, my wonderful players. How are you all doing after that break? And, in fact, how are you doing arriving for the first time this session, Father?
I'm enjoying the music.
So instead of a recap today, I'm going to do a YouTuber thing. It's going to be a formal apology. I misjudged definitely how long this dungeon would take. You all hate me, which part of me loves, but part of me hates. So we'll get through it eventually. We'll get through it eventually, and you'll all be fried. You'll all be dead, and you'll never want to play D&D again. But I'm sorry.
I love this.
I got so lost in the source of making a big dungeon that I didn't realize it would take this long. I'm sorry.
Do not hate you. We would like this long level one.
I'm just thinking that when we finally succeed in this dungeon, we will have earned that small red marble.
So, at the end of the last bit, you ended up in room 51. I know I'm not really going to recap, but honestly, you got to watch the rest of them to be able to get to this point. Room 51. There's a column in the center which is split into 4 rotatable sections. The top section has 5 symbols on it: an elephant, a kangaroo, a panda, a bear, a mouse, and a whale. The second down has depressible numbers from 1 to 9. The third has a bunch of letters, depressible buttons as letters. And the fourth is a rotating section with a timeline going the whole way around, ranging between about, it would be between about 6,000 and 7,000. 7,000 being in the future, 6,000 being in the past. I can't remember what the name I gave to like the time period, but it's the years that you guys use. Also, from top to bottom, the sections are red, green, blue, and yellow. Yes, I am going to copy and paste it to you because I appreciate there's a lot of information.
But it's pretty obvious that the top one has to be an elephant.
Why?
Well, because I like elephants.
Oh.
5 symbols
I
on
love
the elephant,
elephants.
kangaroo.
Just to also keep you updated, the doorway on the right-hand side of the room, the east of the room, is an open doorway.
I think I'm going to go and have a look through the doorway on the east.
I'm going to go with Cal.
And then there's the cage door on the left that you can't see through.
Sorry I've been so quiet recently, by the way.
No, you've spoken a little bit.
Oh, good.
You have been doing a lot of idle animation?
Yeah. you never told us what you thought about the jacuzzi, but that's okay.
Oh, we like jacuzzis. Bit of water.
Yeah, I thought it was weird that Kyle decided not to go into the jacuzzi.
I had Cal be suspicious of wandering into a jacuzzi.
Yeah,
that you just found in the.
That is true. I would be very, very suspicious of it.
So, room 54, which is the one you're about to open up. It's 35 by 15 foot, 25 feet tall, the same sandstone aesthetic as before. There are 2 things of note in here. Firstly, there are 4 grates.
Oh.
There are 4 grates on the ceiling.
not great.
Secondly, there are 4 pieces of writing on the walls in 4 different colors.
Are they red, green, blue, and yellow, perchance?
Would be. In red, and again, I will copy and paste it for you.
Thank you.
In red, in fact, actually, I would say they are in such a position that you would not be able to read them properly until you were inside of the room.
I will go inside the room because I'm that kind of.
Everything explodes.
Into a jacuzzi.
Okay.
No.
The red on one of the walls reads, "What jumps when it walks and sits when it stands?" In green, and again, I will copy and paste them, it just has a number, a set of numbers that says 5712193150 ? In blue, it says, "Name the 2 countries that Flowari used to split into."
No.
And in yellow, it says, "What year did Starkrum destroy the city of Veluna?"
Okay.
Well, the flary one is Demar and Demorph, isn't it? The Demar and Demorph?
Demorph?
It is something like that, isn't it? I can't remember. The top one's easy. It's a kangaroo. Alex, it's got the answers on.
You've given us the answers.
You gave us the answers.
I'm not going to look. I'm not looking.
I'm looking right at it.
And you're not gonna.
I'm not looking. I'm not looking.
The characters.
Fine. I know what Robin's like. They're just gonna have taken in the information and cheat.
The characters have not seen that information.
The only one I've seen was the second one, so I'm not answering it.
Macy's an idiot, so she's not getting any of these anyway.
Well, the only one I saw was the top one because I thought, well, the top one's obviously a kangaroo. And it
Yeah,
says
the
kangaroo
top
there.
one was kangaroo. That's the only.
Kangaroo. Yeah. 571-2. 571-219-31050. 5712157.
I'm gonna be honest. I live in Fluari, and I don't know the answer to that question.
19,
So.
3150.
Meanwhile, in the other room, of course, you have the rotatable thing that does say.
Oh yeah. What other room? What's one
So,
rotatable thing?
The column, of course.
as it's just the two of us in this room, I'm gonna say to Cal, be like, well, I know the Fluaria is Demarth and Demore. I know that one, but you said that the one with the animals had to be an elephant, and
Well,
I don't know which one that is.
Are you
think-
communicating
I don't know
these questions to us in the other room?
Oh, that's a fair point.
I
I
have
should
not
shout through. It's got some clues on the wall in here.
What do they say?
Well, the top one says what jumps when it walks and sits when it stands.
Well, out of these 5 animals, it's probably a kangaroo, huh?
I think it's probably a kangaroo.
I'm gonna
So
spin
ju-
the thing to that.
Yes, there is an indicator to say the thing. You rotate it round to a kangaroo, and the kangaroo lights up in green. At which point, a door slams shut between room 51 and 54. Now I'm going to ask for a dex saving throw. She's gone. A dex saving throw from Neva
She's standing right by the door.
because she's standing in the doorway.
While she's doing that, I'm going to think about the next one.
Nope, you're not going to think about the next one yet. Okay, I'm going to say that she manages to escape the room as it slams shut because otherwise she's inside and has to do things. Immediately as the door shuts, from all 4 of the grates at the top, sand starts pouring into the room.
Okay, now look, I can breathe underwater, but not so good under sand.
Turn the blue one to Demarth and Demore.
Yes, you can hear him through the door.
What?
Turn the blue one to Demarth and Demore. There's sand filling up the room. We're gonna suffocate.
Oh, how do you spell them? It's letters like a keypad.
They start with D.
Okay. I pressed the D.
M-A-R.
Okay. I'm assuming.
M-A.
I don't know if you want to say how long this takes, Alex. However, they do have.
You reckon you've got a little bit of time. It's filling up relatively fast. You've probably got 3 minutes.
57
What have I
is-
missed?
The door slams shut as you rotated the top one to a kangaroo, and they're now trapped inside room 54 with sand filling up.
But I was stood in the doorway. Which way
Yeah,
did I
and
go?
you
You're
weren't
out.
here to make the deck save, so you're in the room with me.
I'm sorry, I had to get rid of a dog that was barking.
Either way, you're outside. That's what I'm saying.
This is good because this way we have 2 and 2. What year did Starcrum destroy Veluna?
No idea.
Can I do a history check? Because I
I
think
can do
I
the
would
same
remember
thing, yeah.
that.
Yes, you can.
I'll do history check as well. I've got 11.
11.
I don't remember.
Let me just check my history. How deep
When do you stop flaring out, you silly camera?
You need a new camera.
Stop it! It's your camera.
22.
It's not my whole camera.
22.
22. You accurately remember thinking. It doesn't take you very long to remember. The year that Starcrum destroyed the city of Oluna was 6419.
Go.
6419!
Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet.
I'm doing it.
No, don't do it yet. Otherwise, the sun's going to start coming through the
You
other
spin
ones.
it around to 6419. It lights up green, and the sand starts pouring even harder.
Damn it!
Which one do we need to finish?
The green
the
one.
green one.
These are the numbers.
571-219-3150.
I'll put those numbers in.
No.
That does nothing.
That didn't
We
work.
We need to work out what the last 2
I
numbers
would,
are.
but Mark keeps talking.
Mute yourself down, because otherwise they're not going to be able to think.
What?
Mute yourself. He's not muted.
You didn't mute yourself.
Not going to mute myself.
Otherwise, they won't be able to think. Just take off your headphones, buddy.
Freddie knows the answer.
I'm going to mute myself.
I know the answer, but I'm trying to work out how to get to
How
that
to
answer.
get there, yeah. 571219315.
Macy's just looking at Neva expectantly, like, Very clearly, Macy's not even trying to think about it. Just
Oh. Oh, I see. I think I see. Or is that too easy? 5 plus 7 is 12, so 12 plus 7 is 19. 19 plus 21 is...
31.
19 plus 12 is 31. 31 plus 19 is 40.
50.
50. 40.
50.
50. 50, I knew that.
31
And 50
plus 50 is 81.
Is 81. It's 81! And now
Try it! Beep boop.
81.
I was trying to work out how to get to that answer. I was like, I don't know how to do it.
As soon as that happens, all of the sand stops. The door opens, and a bit of sand pours out. It's probably up to like your waist at that point. It was getting close.
Okay, who's gonna say the meme?
Sorry.
Who's gonna say the meme?
Up to whose waist?
Yeah, whose way?
That's a good point. It's up to Carly's waist. So
Okay, so I will have constantly been like scrambling
yeah, you're
to
just
stay on top of the sand.
That's why Krama wasn't speaking so much. It's because his mouth was constantly filled with sand.
yes. You now have the disadvantage of that feeling of sand beneath your teeth, between your teeth, which can happen if it's like windy on a beach. Yeah, like horrible gritty feeling.
Who's gonna say the meme though?
Which one?
You apparently.
I hate sand. It's grainy and it gets everywhere.
It's rough and it's coarse and it gets everywhere.
Yeah.
As soon as that happens, the door opens and the sand pours out, probably with Cromwell. And a few things also fall out of those grates as the sand stops. You find
Atlas cube, a mimic,
a silver spoon,
Okay.
Hey.
a key with a blue hexagon on it,
Oh, let's look what we've been fed with.
and a
I
green scale.
thought of
key.
the same joke, yeah.
Oh, a green scale key. Green scale key,
Another
green scale
dragon
key.
key! Look at that.
Please tell me that's enough for us to go.
No,
Where
it's
was
not. We need 2 more.
Which was the room with the dining table with all the silverware?
It's back.
On the far right. you
We still
haven't-
need another
Oh, yeah.
plate for it though.
59.
We found one
Okay.
missing plate, but we need 1 more.
The only other thing you haven't checked is that corridor on the left of this bit.
Well, also, has anybody looked through that? Is that like a slatted door on the left?
I haven't looked through
What
yet.
I
We're
just
a
lost.
little busy trying to keep you guys from not suffocating.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, thank you. God, that got
I'm going to go to the central column and just have a look at how it ended up.
In what sense do you mean how it ended up?
As in just looking at like how it's all the answers, all the correct answers, because you said it's a thing that you spin.
Only 2 of them span. The other ones you typed in the answers, but it was Kangaroo 81, Demarthamore, and
I'm
16.
just having a look at it.
Fair enough. You have a peek through that grate, which is actually quite close to the corridor at this point, so you can see pretty well up and down. You can see, firstly, that the door to the left is exactly into the same corridor as the grate you're looking through for some reason.
Interesting.
It is a cage door that you're looking through. They're both doors. And also down at the end is on a podium a sword. A fancy looking sword. Hard to tell exactly what it looks like from down here, but there is a sword on a podium.
This door I'm standing in front of, is there a keyhole?
Nope.
Okay.
Well,
Okay then.
wait, but you can see the what kind of sword is it?
A long sword.
How
As in
close?
the type, not just like it's a long sword.
Cromwell, do you think you could use that sort of floating hand thing of yours and grab that
Don't
sword?
ask yet. Don't ask.
That's a good question. It depends on how heavy the sword is. I think also specifically it can't carry weapons. Let me just have a look.
That's a weird specification.
Magnetically repulsed from weapons.
The standard
No, it can't attack.
the standard mass of a longsword is between 2.4 and 4 pounds.
Oh, then yes, I can absolutely carry that.
I like how Rowan's like, I'm going to look this shit up so you can't do that.
I was trying to figure. I wanted the specifications, so I knew the answer.
I will tentacle the sword off the podium, I guess.
I mean, it
Sure.
could always just be a very, very heavy, imbalanced longsword.
You pick up the sword. It's fairly heavy, but you drag it across the floor. You bring it up to the caged section. It does not fit through the cage bars. The pommel and various other bits, even sideways. You can see it. It's very nice, etched and I was going to say embroidered. That's the wrong word. Etched and carved, whatever. Bejeweled handle with a big, like, fancy pommel, a long, shiny blade, but you can't get it through.
Do we know if we need this for anything?
Nope, no idea.
Is there any sign of how to this door? I'm going to investigate the door I'm standing in front of. Is there any way I can see it that would open? I would investigate it if I found my. There it is. Investigation. I'm not going to roll my proper dice for a check.
Can I help him by? Oh, I guess I couldn't see that.
Oh my goodness! But... I have no idea.
It's a natural one.
2. No, not natural one. Quite. It's a 2.
It's a 2.
With my bonus, makes it about 7.
It doesn't seem to have any way of opening. Can't even see hinges.
Do any of us have a mirror?
We had a mirror that we found in the.
It's in the other room.
Can I go grab that mirror?
Yeah, sure.
Will it fit through the bars?
Yeah, it's a thin, like, handheld mirror, so a little handle and a circle mirror.
Cromwell, can you have your tentacle hold this, so, like, just between the other door and these bars, so I can see what's going on with the other door? Or the other side of the door?
Sure.
Can I investigate to try to see the angle of
You
it?
know what? Sure.
Thank you. I feel clever, and it's not going to give me anything, I'm sure. It's a 12.
It's a 12. It does just look like the other side of a door. It's a very clever move to make.
I was about to say, I wish that you
I do
could
like that.
get more from that.
If there's nothing to see, there's nothing to see.
I know.
Well, guys,
It's
I can thoroughly say that this is just a door.
Well, thank you for
So,
checking. I'm very proud of you.
Door. Okay.
Thanks.
So I'm guessing if it's a door, there's some way of opening it. Yeah, that's it. That's the end of my.
Just like the others, and it doesn't have a keyhole or anything.
Yes, no keyhole.
Okay, well, we do have a key. We do know what open the door, don't we?
Yes.
Not that I can remember where the door is,
Yes.
you? Oh, I do. I can see where it's back in room 41.
Yes. Let I guess just leave this here for
No, it
now
can't-
and worry about it
No,
later.
it can't be. That one's already. What
Oh.
was it? Was it a
I'll
blue?
I'll give the mirror back to Maisie and tentacle the sword back onto the podium,
Fair enough.
just so everything is as we found
I'm
it.
also liking to imagine Maisie holding that silver disc going, is there some way this is related?
Mhm.
Absolutely. That silver disc is pissing me off.
Really? I didn't think it would.
What was the key that we got?
The blue
The key that you
hexagon.
picked up was a
It is
blue-
that one between 40 and 41, yeah.
Yes.
But we don't need that one because we've already been in 40 and 41.
You
We haven't been in 41, we've just seen into it through the bars in the lava room.
I've changed my mind. We do need that one.
Yeah.
So
Okay, we'll go through that way then.
let's go for a little stroll, shall we? Anybody remember the way?
So
Nope.
we have not yet been to the yellow section or the orange section.
Oh, and we also currently have a black card with a mint colored diamond on it. And a bunch of little statuettes at this point.
Mhm.
And
Black
this
card with
fucking
mint-colored
silver
diamond.
disc.
Alex, I really appreciate what you've done, but I'm so over this.
We also have not interacted with the jacuzzi in any way, but I do have a cupcake for you from a little cubby hole.
Yes.
There
That
were
we
4
wrapped in
cupcakes.
beeswax covered paper.
Maisie thinks that they will make us feel better when we don't feel good.
At the moment, I'm okay.
I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
On the way back through to the jacuzzi room, I'll put the spoon on the table.
So have you been in the jacuzzi?
No,
No,
I
no
don't trust
one
it.
would go in it.
We have not interacted with the jacuzzi except I froze some of the water.
yes.
Is the ice block still there?
It is about half the size, has melted a fair bit. The whole pool does look a little colder than it was when you first got in.
So if I just put the tip of my finger in,
It is water. As far as you can tell. Nothing happens to your finger.
okay, well, I'm going to put my face in and see if I can see anything underwater, because I can see underwater, presumably, all right.
It's crystal clear water. Anything you can see above, you can see beneath.
Nothing
As
in
above, so below.
there. Haha.
Nothing happens to your face. It's tepid, like room temperature water at this point, but you can't see anything inside other than the stairs that help you get in. / out.
It's a bit of a strange one, isn't it? Perhaps it's in case we catch fire. You can sort of jump in the water and it's all right.
There was a big lava room close by.
That's true.
But there would have had to be, like, at the point that we were interacting with the lava, there would have had to be a lot of work done to get into this jacuzzi room. So maybe
It really puts a sense of urgency on.
How deep is this water?
Here's your love.
The average depth of a jacuzzi, which is like, what, a couple feet?
Yeah, 2-3 feet.
So it would have been easier to drown the mimic in this than it would have been the other room.
True.
I think we want to go through the blue hexagon door, Alex.
Yeah, let's get to the bridge.
It opens with ease, and I will reiterate what 41 looks like, because it's been a while. It's a 15 by 35 foot room, 15 foot tall, with the cobblestone aesthetic on the walls and floors. There is one cage door on the south wall, which of course is the one you saw through previously, and one old rusted metal door on the east wall, which is locked with a padlock with a yellow square on it.
Oops.
You've also already seen this. In the center is a box which has another letter-based lock on it, this time with 7 letters. The first 3 letters are already set and unmovable. DSA. Rowan's face confirms.
I hate you.
DSA.
Isn't that the Strange Academy?
SA.
Desamp. Or is it Desamp? I can't remember. Are there only DSA, M, and P on the little letter wheel as well?
Sure. Because you already know the direction this is going.
So if I do a history, is this the name of the is it the name of the institution? The name of the university?
Yeah, I know the next letter is also an A.
Okay, it's DSAAAMP.
Yeah.
Googling is cheating. That's fine.
I didn't Google. I used the resources at my disposal because Cromwell would know the acronym of the school that he goes to.
I was trying really hard.
But she ain't bothered.
I was trying to look at the little bumper sticker thing, but it's really fucking tiny.
It is, of course, the Dillon Reckon Strangeness Academy for the Arcane Arts and Martial Proficiency.
Yes.
When you type in DSAAMP, it opens up, and the box only contains one thing inside it: a key with a magenta star on it.
Oh, for God's sake, I thought you were going to say a key for the thingy, then we could go home.
A magenta. Oh, okay, so that's the
Back
one
to
that's
49.
over here.
Is that 59?
49.
No, sorry, 49.
Oh, you said circle, didn't you?
Star.
No, it's
Star.
magenta
Oh.
star.
That's like an eggplant, not a magenta. I'll have you know.
Yeah, same.
Aubergine.
Why do you call them eggplants?
Overplant.
I don't
Because when
fucking
they
know.
are-
No, I know why.
When they are young in the
Yes.
growth structure, they do look like eggs.
They look just like eggs.
They look exactly like eggs. There's no reason to call them an eggplant when they grow up, but I guess.
The
It's
real
more
question. The
Why
real
do you
question
call
is
them
why do we call
aubergine? Yeah.
why do we call them aubergines? Because I mean, at least they
Isn't
do
it
look
from
like an
like
egg
a
and they're
Latin term or
smaller.
something?
But
Aubergine is French.
Is it
yeah,
French?
for what?
Yeah, blame the
Aubergine
French for that.
a large purple fruit thing.
Why do y'all never come up with your own word that wasn't
That's
French?
a very good question.
That's
we
not
know
the British
the
way.
word for it.
We have a history longer than 400 years. That's why.
It's because the English way, the British way, is just go around the world taking all the best bits.
Exactly. Well,
Trying to own everywhere.
The fact that
Yeah,
you had
take-
more
taking
time
without
just
permission.
means you've had so many more opportunities to come up with a new fucking word for it.
against now. The door is a fancy wooden door. And of course, the key that the magenta star unlocks it perfectly. It opens up into a little. I'm clicking on the wrong thing.
Conquer?
A little corridor. Corridor. Why would I say
Mm.
conquer?
I have no idea. Why would you do a little
I
conquer?
don't know.
A little corridor.
Could you imagine trying to make a door out of conkers?
Oh,
I'm trying to.
I thought you
I'm
were
trying to
still
manage
stuck on the whole British going round stealing the rich thing. That kind of conquer.
it. Oh, that kind of gonker.
Oh,
Which is that door that is inside of there is completely openable and absolutely has nothing stopping you from opening it.
I'm no
Sorry, I was
longer
taking-
volunteering myself to go first in any of these rooms.
We know.
that's fine. You stay behind.
I'm following.
The
just
room
all the
beyond
way
that
behind.
door that I'm sure you're about to open, Cromwell, is a 30-foot diameter hexagon, about 15 foot tall, with one open doorway to the west, one smooth metal doorway to the south, which is locked with a padlock with an orange crescent.
Mhm.
And the design of the room is that of a lovely villa with fancy wooden panel walls and soft carpet beneath the feet. There are windows around the room showing the sight of a lovely beach, and in the center of the room is a set of sofas that look extraordinarily comfortable.
Mm.
In the center of the sofas is a table with the number 4 etched into it.
No, fuck. Not this shit again.
I'm gonna sit on a sofa.
Oh, why?
After a second,
Yes, it's
you
a spoon.
feel very refreshed, as though it would have been a long rest, though of course you don't get any benefits because you're already long rest, and the number goes down to a 3.
I'll get up off the sofa.
I'm not going to do that yet because that could come in handy later.
But it might get us done stuff now. So can we just,
True. There's a door over here we can see through.
please just sit down on them so we
No.
can get it done.
There's an
Oh,
open
too
door
soon.
right here.
I'm going to look through this open door first.
Sure. Let me just do the reveal thingy, which always takes a second.
Do you get the thing where sometimes it goes to the hide option rather than the reveal? Because that really annoys me when that happens.
Yeah.
No, I just click on
Yeah, it annoys me
polygon
too.
reveal. This room is an extremely odd shape, which you'll see from that there. It's not exactly a
Okay.
shape I can describe. It's like a pentagon with 2
Pentagonish?
corridors at the top and the bottom. The center is a 25-foot diameter pentagon, but there's a corridor across the top. At the bottom, there is a small pocket on the west side. There's one cage door at the west end of the north corridor. God, that's nice and confusing. And an opaque force field of some kind on the south wall, with a small panel to the left with a mint green diamond on it.
Ah,
Oh.
didn't we have something to
Yep.
do with a diamond on a bit of paper? or
I'm
something?
going to take this black
What's
card
the-
with a
what's the-
mint-colored diamond on it and hold it up to the
Just a
So
force.
much for not going
thing.
first.
This has the same villa aesthetic as before. On the center of the room is a panel, which has a recessed square on the top face.
Ah,
Next to the cage door is a lever.
so if you put that card thing in this recessed what's we do here,
I do.
What are you putting in there?
The black
The
card
card
with the
with the mint-
mint-colored diamond.
Oh, in the centerpiece, nothing happens.
oh, I know. How about that silver disc thing?
Is it the size of a silver disc, would you say, Alex?
No.
I try just looking directly into Kale's eyes.
Nothing happens. I will say there is like a that door which has the I did describe it's a opaque force field of some kind on the south wall with a small panel to the left with a mint green diamond on it.
Yeah, that's the one I wanted to try, and then you started describing other things, so I thought I was wrong.
No, I just wanted to get through all the descriptions before you made
Okay.
decisions.
I'm gonna
Shall
hold it
I
up to
pull
the
the
head.
lever, Kronk?
Well, before you do, what can you see through the gated door?
I
in
see. My God, it's full of stars.
It's a group full of tigers.
2001: A Space Odyssey reference for any.
I got that. I got that one.
You look
Over
through,
my head.
and just bear with me as I put a little reveal and give you descriptions. Okay. Same villa aesthetic as before. It's 35 by 25 foot wall with 15 feet tall. There's cage doors there's doors all over the place. There's a cage door on the west wall, a wooden door on the west wall, 2 wooden doors on the south wall, and 1 wooden door on the east wall, which I guess you technically wouldn't be able to see, but whatever.
Yeah.
The only feature you can see is there is a 3x3 panel on the ground that I will say looks. It's got like a seam down the center of it, as though it could be like a giant trapdoor or like sliding or something. You don't really know.
Okay.
Shall I pull the lever, Kronk?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, pull the lever and see what happens.
I will pull the lever, Kronk.
You pull the lever, and the cage door opens.
Wrong level.
Us.
That's it.
So-
Opens.
Just the thing that I'm next to.
Yep, just that cage door that you're next to. That's the only one that opens. Just
I'm gonna put my ear to the lever and see if I can hear any kind of mechanism ticking that would
Interesting.
bring it back down.
Give me a perception.
That's good thinking, that is. Like that.
That is merely a 12.
You can't hear any kind of ticking or anything like that. The only sound you can hear in this room is the slight arguments between the three standing at the other side.
Just let me put the thing on the fucking wall. Why are you stopping me?
Oh, go on, then. Hang on, Cromwell, don't go anywhere yet. We're going to try this one.
Okay, I open the door. I don't know if it'll stay open.
I do
Okay, well, at least we know how to open it now.
Right. The one that you're getting to down there.
I do the thing with the thing. So I can
You
mark
place
this
the
off my
card on the
damn
panel
sheet.
as you have before, and this force field seems to melt away into the center of itself. Very much with that sound. I'm just going to mark off that you've used that, and we also used that. Good. Inside,
Almost just at the bottom edge.
there are two more force field doors on the south wall. The one, the west of the two of them says room 1, and the east of the two of them says room 2. That'll make more sense when I show you in a second. It appears to be some kind of strange waiting room. There are white chairs on both walls with small tables around them, and a screen between the two doors on the south. The walls are a shiny white, and the floor is a light grey colour. There are blue lines going across the walls, acting like racing stripes, presumably for aesthetics. The screen is currently blank. I will now do a little reveal
Hint,
so you
please.
can see what the hell I was talking about. You can't really see, but if you really do zoom in, you can see that there are actually some chairs that are just very similar color to the ground. Probably should have made a different aesthetic choice there, but you know, I was also losing my mind.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay, it's interesting.
So the light grey is the chairs, or the dark grey is the chairs.
The dark grey is a table, the light grey is chairs. Just, you know, like standard waiting rooms where there, or like airport places where there's just chairs and tables, nothing on the tables. They're just sort of.
I'm going to investigate the screen.
Roll an investigation for sure.
Roll an investigation. Boop. It is I can't see it. 19.
Cool. You haven't really seen anything like this before. It is large rectangular. I'm trying to describe it in a way as if you've never seen a TV before. It's a TV. You know,
Yeah.
it's large rectangular black.
It's got a hard
has
front
presumably
and an edge on it.
display. Yeah.
No buttons. Nothing I can press to turn it on or anything.
Nope. Neva, do you go in and sit down? You're muted.
Yep.
Cool. As soon as you sit down, is Maisie coming into the room?
No.
No, okay. As soon as you sit down, as Carly's face is right up next to the screen, it lights up
I've turned it on. Look, I've turned it. I don't know how, but I've turned it on.
and text
Amazing.
scrolls across the screen that says, "Welcome." You know, it's really slow, like welcome. Where eventually it says, "Welcome to the New Mentris Medical Center. Please take a seat and wait to be called." I think actually, is this? Did I do that one on here? Yeah, I did. There you go. Enjoy that one.
Oh my god.
It's a really annoyingly slow text. Wait
I
to
guess
be called.
he- Wait
And it
to.
just keeps scrolling.
It's actually going faster than I thought it was gonna do.
I considered making it really slow and making you read it, but I thought you'd just hate me more than you already do.
Oh, do you know, I think I would have enjoyed that.
Oh, for goodness sake!
Maisie will go in now. Seeing.
And the force field door seals
Oh,
behind you.
Fuck! You asshole!
You take a seat and you wait. You wait. till
Any
it's ready.
magazines?
No.
Any magazines?
sorry.
No, no magazines.
magazines.
Not even a 1983 Women's Weekly or something.
How long are we waiting, Alex? This is very important.
Not particularly long.
Okay. Would you say
I
it's
was gonna
more
say
than like
after-
15 minutes?
No, God no.
Okay.
After about 30 seconds or so, after you've all sat down, the screen changes and it reads Kale Ta, Room 1.
Okay. Which
To
one's room
clarify,
one?
Room 1 is the one on the west.
I'll go and try the door on the west.
Sure. As you approach it, the force field disappears.
Right. What can I see?
You can't see a lot without going inside, but I can sort of go through vaguely what you see.
I mean, if it's not a pit full of lava or several
No,
large
What you can
dragons,
basically see is it's just like another room with white walls and grey floor with some stuff inside of it. Nothing that's immediately like danger.
It's not padded floors and walls, is it?
No,
Ah!
so when you step in, the force field appears behind you again, and I shall describe this room to you so that.
I can't believe Cal left without saying goodbye. We might not see him again.
I'm in here.
Actually, that's a point. Cal, can you hear me?
No.
Hello?
I don't think he can hear you. Or at least you
It's
can't
either
hear
that-
him.
It's either that or he's decided a highly inappropriate time to take up practical jokes.
Hmm.
So I'm trying to.
I can't hear neither, but I can see her mouth moving. But
I
she's
tell
not
you
behind the
what,
keyboard.
it is Cal. What? Can't you just listen for once in your life?
No, you got to speak up. You got to enunciate.
I couldn't see the number on the thingy, so I was really confused about which one. So, the room that you're standing in is 35 by 15 feet, 10 foot tall, not a particularly tall room, with the same white wall aesthetic. There's one force field door on the south wall, and one metal sort of plain metal door on the north wall with the word storage written on it. There is also a glass screen on the west wall that is currently like very misty, like you can't see through it. You appear to be in some kind of informational room. There is a large whiteboard on the north wall, and another of those devices you saw, or as it says here, sway in the space station against the southeast wall, but this time the language seems to be common, the sort of computery ones. On the west side of the room is a desk with various papers and books on top, and another one of those devices that seems to play audio recordings. Whilst you're looking at this, the screen where you guys are chilling, which is let's scroll back up to it, changes. Maisie Montgomery Cartwright, room 2.
Okay.
You move through, the force field open.
But this is a medical center, so you've got nothing to worry about as long as there's nothing wrong with you.
I just give you a really deadpan look when I turn back at you. Walk forward and through the room, into the room.
You step into the room, and I shall reveal this one to you because it contextually makes sense for me to do so. Okay. It's this is a 35 by 15 foot room, 10 foot tall, with the same white wall aesthetic. There is one force field door on the south wall, and one plain metal door on the north wall with the words "Cold Store" written on. There's also a glass screen on the east wall that, as soon as you get in, Carla, you notice it demists, and you're suddenly able to see Carla in the other room, and Carla can see Maisie in this room.
It would be on. Okay, my west is east.
Yes.
Yes.
You'll see in a second. In the center of the room is a large metal table with some sort of drain at the east side. Around the edges of the room are various cupboards and drawers, none of which currently seem to be openable. Lying on the metal table is a body, non-moving. It is naked, apart from wearing a pair of underwear, and appears to be male. The most notable feature is its gaunt and drained appearance with greying skin. It seems someone has already cut open this body and then stitched it back together. Bink. The thing up above for room 67, as these two have gone through, you wait for just another couple seconds and it pops up with Neva Montgomery Cartwright, room 1.
Okay, I go.
You step through into room 1, and then once you're through, it says Cromwell Beckman, room 2. And obviously these force fields shut behind you when you do so.
As Neva leaves the room, he's going to look over and see if the force field has come down by the door that we initially came in.
No,
That's still up. Okay. Then he will go when his one comes up. Oh, hey!
This guy's dead as hell.
Can they can we hear them talking through the force field?
Yes.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
I
hi. We're all here.
can't quite
Hi.
see from here.
Oh,
The other piece of information, by the way, is the whiteboard has something already written on it, which says neurostatic lux expulsion, with nothing written beneath it.
Neurostatic lux expulsion.
Yes. The computer. Yes, I believe you can already see this. Maybe not. Maybe you should be able to see it. Yes. The computer has 2 fields. It's on and has 2 fields. One is already filled in and it's uneditable. It says Dr. A. Strater. And a second underneath a box which you can type into. Under both are the words enter password.
Okay.
this is for Dr. A. Straightest, right?
Ah. Dr. A. So I need a password here. I've got a Dr. A. Strater, then it needs a sort of password on this keyboard thing.
Okay, well, we have a dead guy.
Okay, I've got a whiteboard which says, what was the
Well,
whiteboard?
look past the dead guy and see if you can find us any answers.
Neurostatic lux expulsion.
Neurostatic lux expulsion.
Can I investigate over on our side here and see
Neurostatic.
Sure, run an investigation.
what exists that could be useful? 10.
Ah.
Nothing more than was before. The cold storage door you can't open. The body, you don't know much about bodies, but there doesn't seem to be anything special about it. And the all the cupboards around the room can't be opened.
I would like to see if I can tell what has been removed from this fella on the table.
Roll an investigation as well.
Investigation. That is better than medicine.
doing?
14. 15.
15. You can't tell what's removed, but I will give you with that investigation. This body, the sort of the decomposition of this body looks strangely familiar, as though you've seen somebody look like this before, very recently.
Some body looked like this before, or we've seen this person and they are familiar.
Not this person, somebody with similar effects to the body.
Have we seen anyone reassembled like this recently?
Wasn't
I
there
can't really,
a
I can't really
person
see
at the
from here.
beginning?
The guy at the beginning with the investigation.
Yeah.
Were either of those two guys like this? The guy that we killed, or the guy that he killed?
I can't remember.
History.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, I looked a bit sort of undeadified recently, didn't I, when I took
15.
that potion?
It was
Oh,
not
yeah, you
Mr.
did.
Deadman. It was not Mr. Deadman, nor was it Carly. I'll give you that with a 15.
It wasn't Mr. Deadman, so it was the guy who killed Mr. Deadman.
Probably.
Right? Probably did it.
Oh, that one we had to fight the fight with in the
That's it.
You're all welcome to roll a histories, by the way.
Aside from the astronaut, that's the only other person that we've seen. No?
13, 1, 3.
Natural one.
Oh, we're rolling well today.
None of you can particularly remember. Although you would be correct that the astronaut is the only other person that you've seen.
Oh yeah, I forgot that astronaut. He looked sort of undead, didn't he? The astronaut,
I'll be back in a second.
a bit sort of corpsey.
Did he?
Yeah. Through
That was-
through his helmet. Yeah, I
That
remember
was kind of where we came in. So was
Yeah,
it the
yeah.
astronaut?
Yeah, I remember when we looked through his visor, he looked sort of slightly, zombie-ish,
He was grey. He was in fact grey and very gaunt and stuff. It was a very similar look. Yes.
There was.
But the good news is, although he was very difficult to kill, as long as we were all there together, we were able to kill him. So,
We also don't know that he's an astronaut. He was just a guy in a weird suit.
Yeah, but referentially,
Yeah.
it's a lot easier if
Yeah.
you just say astronaut.
No, I'm just saying for our talking.
Yeah.
So this table over here that I'm standing by now,
Yes.
you said there's some kind of
Something
sound.
you recognise. It's something that looks very similar that you've seen a couple times. That plays audio when you press the right button.
And what is there? Just a machine with buttons and that's it?
On the desk?
Yes.
It's more like a handheld recorder, so it's a fly in it's a handheld audio device, but yes, that's the only thing on there of any importance.
I'll endeavour to press the button to make it play
Sure.
audio.
Do we need to
put his head here.
Do we need to watch stream?
No, not on stream. Through Roll20, which I have previously confirmed that you can all hear a sound when I do this.
Yes.
Indeed.
And I'll confirm with Purdy because she just sat down when she puts the headphones on. Hey Purdy, can you hear this magical sound?
She
She's
shook her
muted,
head,
but I'm
yes.
assuming
She shook her
yes.
head, yes.
Yeah, I nodded. Because
Okay, in which case, can you pause the music? So there's not multiple things.
Oh,
Okay, and yeah, this should definitely be the right one.
Experiment number 12, conducted by Dr. Jane Strater, 31st of October, 9320. Today,
I'm pausing that so I can hear the echo through Rowan's PC going through. So if anyone else is hearing it playing twice, mute the stream on Discord.
Okay.
Who could this voice belong to?
I don't know. It's a mystery.
good to have her there.
experiment number 12, conducted by Dr. Jane Strater, 31st of October, 9320. Today, we will be running another test to see if we can find what causes the condition we have named neurostatic lux expulsion. Previously, we have tried non-invasive methods to try and ascertain some semblance of an idea of where this condition starts by drawing blood and taking various DNA samples. Today, we will be exploring the body in a more invasive manner. Unfortunately, the patient seems unresponsive to any kind of sedation, so this is going to have to be done whilst the patient is awake. I will be cutting into the lower abdomen to see if there are any changes from the usual state of affairs, and possibly removing samples for later testing. For the record, the patient's her name is Mrs. Arlene Strater, my wife. It's almost over, Arlie. After this, I'll let you rest. You can be with Buster. I'm sure he's missed you. You know he'll be wagging his tail to oblivion. End voice note.
Oh, very sad. So that gives us two possible passwords. I mean, that gives us two possible passwords, I reckon. I'm going to trog over here, and I'm going to type in the password field, Buster.
You type in Buster to the password field and clink, it logs in.
If that was for Arlene, who's this guy?
Good question.
Wait, no.
I'm just gonna double check that they are in fact dead.
How are you double checking that they are dead?
I'm going to back away. I'm going to ask Maisie to back away, and I'm going to mind sliver it.
Sure. What would happen if the body was dead with a mind sliver? So I can actually describe it like that.
I would assume nothing. It's all
Yeah,
mental.
I wasn't sure if there was any kind of like other effect, but you see nothing in particular happen.
Okay. So if they're making a save, that would happen if they pass it. So if they resist the effects of the spell, and if they don't, then they normally like flinch and stuff. So, do you want to stab it just to make sure, Maisie?
I'm
Just
good.
in case? You don't want to make sure it's dead.
I'm pretty good. I'm good.
We could like behead it.
No, well, like, what if we need the head, though? Like, I'm just gonna leave it alone and assume that if we do everything right, we'll be fine.
That's
What's
very
the password?
unlike you.
She doesn't trust anything anymore. Once the password is entered, the screen shows a loading bar before making a joyful startup tune. Think like Windows ME, and then shows 4 options. Did ME make a joyful tone? I know like 95 did.
Yeah.
There's 4 options. This is very old green screen. You can use the arrow keys, but there's no mouse kind of selections. Voice notes.
It's not that old.
Voice notes, door control, decontaminate room, and shutdown.
I'm going to
And
start
alarm,
off by selecting voice notes because that sounds like it's going to be less disastrous.
Sure. You click voice notes, and the screen changes to one that says, it displays a message that says, insert storage device to continue, and then has a little back.
So is there anywhere I could insert a device?
It seems in the PC there are holes, like, it's USB slots and things, not that you'd recognize those, but nothing,
Okay.
you'd...
Now I'm going to trot back over here again to the table. Is there anything that looks like it's sort of something I could... But can I take the voice thingy out of the thing I was listening to? I don't want to take consent out of the player.
We have a USB stick, right? We picked it up in the room with the telescope.
Do we?
Do we?
Am I making that up?
I think you're making that up.
Are you sure? I'm sure we picked something up and you were like, yeah, it looks like a USB stick. No?
Well, do we have any bits and pieces that we have picked up which look like they might fit in one of these holes? Like, is there a slot where, for example, a round silver disc could go?
No.
Damn. Then I shall go on to the second one, which is door control.
I'm still here. The door control. The screen shows another menu with 5 options.
Okay.
Research room exit, which in brackets says closed. Experiment room exit, closed. Storage room, closed. Cold storage, closed. Room pass-through, closed.
So they're all closed.
Yeah,
Yes.
but we've got but there are 6 doors.
Can you open cold storage?
Hang on, before I do that though, there are 6 doors and I've only got control of 5. So are all the doors we could get to all locked? I'll try this one. Is it locked? That's storage, I think.
Yes, it is locked.
And the one at the bottom of my room, is that locked?
It's a force field.
It's forced field, but it's closed or
Yes,
impassable.
it is currently closed.
What's this one at the bottom for me?
Also a force field.
Also closed?
Also closed, yes. If it is a
Okay.
force field, it is closed, because if it isn't closed, there's no force field.
Fair enough. fair
Open
enough.
cold storage, please.
Okay, I'm going to try and roll it. 3, 2, 1, click.
You click on cold storage, and a pop-up appears that says, would you like to open this door? With 2 options, yes and no.
Yes.
Maybe.
Maybe the third option that's hidden.
Don't worry, it's fine. We're on the wrong other side of the force field.
I see you're trying to open cold storage. Like any other tab.
Clippy appears.
Clippy.
You in the other room hear a clunk from the cold storage door. And when you go back to the menu, it now says cold storage, open.
Okay, it should be open now.
Okay. I'll open the door.
What's inside? I have a feeling I know, but I don't want to.
Okay.
It's cold, grey, and
So the
vicious.
door opens, and inside you see a 5 by 25 foot corridor, so 10 foot tall. It's dark in there, very dark, and immediately very cold. The walls are metal, and on the right-hand side there are 4 metal drawers, quite large in size, around chest height.
Yeah,
There is a little sticky note on one of them. You can't read what it says until you go closer, of course. And you can see they all have little name tags, but again, unless you go inside, it's not going to be something you'll be able to read.
Okay.
I'm gonna string my illuminated jellyfish through the room.
Macy's gonna
Sure.
put on her glasses and walk in.
Sure.
I'll stay here just in case the door closes.
Yeah.
The little sticky note on one of them says, "I've left the remote lock for the cupboards safe inside." All of the little displays, 2 of them have names, 2 of them aren't showing anything. One reads CPT R Press, Captain R Press, which seems to be locked or unopenable, and one reads Dr. A Strater, which, do you attempt to open it?
Yeah.
It does open.
That's unfortunate.
Inside,
Before pulling out the drawer, I'm just going to look inside to see if there's any movement.
give me a perception. You have dark vision with your glasses, yes.
Natural 20, baby.
Ooh.
You do not see any movement.
Cool.
Pretty confidently.
I'll pull the drawer out then.
Inside is another greyed, gaunt body, unmoving but wearing proper clothes. A smart outfit and a lab coat. There is nothing of particular value in any of the pockets, or at least, well, I'm saying that assuming that you're going to look in the pockets. Except for on the right side is a small rectangular device of some kind.
I will take the small rectangular device of some kind.
Yeah.
Does it have a button on it or anything like that?
No, but it is rectangular, and the end is slightly smaller rectangular.
It's a USB stick.
No! I don't know what you're talking about.
I told you that we found one somewhere. It was just in the future.
Yeah.
Future echoes.
Okay, I'm gonna push Arlene back into the cabinet, and then open the one with
Sure.
the sticky note on it.
It doesn't open.
Do all the others open?
Yeah, none of the others can open.
Oh.
I'm not there.
What does the sticky note say again? It's inside, it said?
The sticky note says, "I've left the remote lock for the cupboards safe inside."
Yeah, you did say that.
What did they say?
As you leave the room, step outside, you hear ever so slight knocking noise from one of the drawers. But as you flick
Fuck
around
you.
to look, it stops fairly quickly.
Fuck you. I run out the door and say, "Lock cold storage! Lock cold storage!
I beg your pardon?
Lock cold storage!"
Oh, okay. Is there a lock option?
So when you go back into the door control and click on cold storage, nothing happens.
Fuck you.
There isn't any way of locking it, I'm afraid.
God damn it! Is there anything that can be moved in this room?
Did you find anything?
Hold
what
on.
did they say?
The note said that the door to the lock to the cabinets is safe inside, or something like that.
Inside.
Yeah, I think we have to open one of the bodies, and I'm hoping it's not the one in there that I just heard a knock from.
I will take my dagger out from my coat, I'll climb up on the table, and I'll start slicing this guy open along his
Sure.
seams.
While he's doing that, Macy's making a
Slice
point
into
not
the
to look.
body.
What are you doing?
You slice into the body,
I'm
and
hungry.
as soon as you cut it, the room is filled with this horrid, rotten smell, mixed with something that smells a little bit like cooking apples. You cut it open and look inside, and the organs are all slimy and rotten. And when you, assuming you start to touch them or move them with your knife, they break up really easily into like a melted, goopy sludge.
Are they connected, or have they been placed in there?
It seems as though they have been placed back in. They were disconnected, although it's hard to tell in some cases because it's so weirdly decomposed.
I'm going to try to pass the USB through the force field to Kyle.
That is not a force field between you. It is a solid glass window.
Is there any way to pass something over?
Tap, tap.
Not that you can see, although Cal might have mentioned that one of the options on the thing from the computer says room pass-through.
Oh. Hey, we should open room pass-through. I got a thing that looks like a thing for that.
Okay, room pass through. Press the button.
When you click it, a pop-up appears and says, "Error. Room must be decontaminated before pass-through can be opened."
No, fuck.
Okay. Now, I mean, I could do that, but I think if we're inside at the time, that might be, tricky. I tell you what, hang on a minute. Let me just try this other one. So I'll try the storage room unlock.
The storage room, when you click on it, a pop-up appears that has a field and says, "Enter password."
I'll try Buster again.
This doesn't work.
I'll try Arlene, was it?
That also does not work.
I'll try open up, you stupid door.
That also doesn't work.
Okay, I can't open this other door. I need a password.
Well, what does it say?
It says password.
Oh, try putting password. Maybe it's literal.
Okay, I'll type password.
The captain guy's name is R. Press, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'll try putting in.
Try R. Press or Captain R. Press.
I'll try press to start with.
Does not work.
R press.
It does not work. And after that many attempts, it has a thing below it that says locked for 5 minutes.
Nope, that didn't work. What are the other options I've got?
Of the rooms or the higher up menu?
I think you gotta press decontaminate.
I will do in a minute, but before I do that, was there another room option?
There is research room exit, experiment room exit, storage room, cold storage, and room pass-through.
So, if I do research room exit,
a pop-up appears that says, "Please insert clearance pass into slot."
Okay, and what was the other one? The room exit thing.
So there's research room exit and experiment room exit.
Experiment room exit. If I do that one,
exactly the same thing pops up.
Beep, beep.
Okay, have I tried all of them now then?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I have. Okay. So I'll go back up to the top menu.
Yep.
What else was there?
Voice notes, door control, decontaminate room, and shut down.
Decontaminate time.
Well, I can do that, but I mean, we don't quite know what's going to happen if we do that.
What's the feeling with this? Does Cromwell do anything with this body that is now opened?
I'm going to check everything. So if I don't find anything in the chest cavity
are you
or
digging
stomach,
inside?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I would use your mage hand personally.
I don't know if this counts as like attacking, so I don't know if the mage hand can do this. If the mage hand can, then I will.
Yeah,
if not, then I'll just have to do it. Yeah.
This isn't attacking because it's dead.
Maisie's taking out her earplugs and putting them in. And
Maisie, I still need to be able to see what I'm doing, and it's a table, so I'm going to need to sit on your shoulders.
I believe she said okay, though it didn't come through the microphone.
Yeah.
Right.
You get closer. Just for the lols, give me a Constitution saving throw against the smell.
Don't do it. Don't you do it.
Oh, it's a natural 19 plus
Okay,
something.
you keep it down. It's horrid though. It's like giving you shivers. It's giving you internal shivers.
She still has the earplugs in, so the squelching sounds aren't as bad.
Yeah.
Stuff like this happens every day. You just got to get used to it.
Yeah, not to me.
I mean, from our side of the force field, it's fine.
You stick the mage hand inside into all of this horrible goopiness and feel around until eventually you pull out a small rectangle with a button on it.
I will prestidigitate it clean and hold it out to Maisie.
He probably has her eyes closed.
Yeah, she does.
I'm just going to tap her with it then.
Oh, grab it. And...
Cool. Mage hand's going to wipe itself clean on Maisie's jacket.
When you press the button, all of the cupboards and drawers around simultaneously make a krunk sound.
And just in their half.
Yeah, just
we don't have any down.
You don't have any drawers, yeah.
No.
So all of the drawers in yours also make a clunk sound.
Onwards, fine steed.
Should puts you down.
Well, that was rude.
I guess it's dig through the cupboards then.
I will open any drawers that are reachable for me.
Sure. You search through all the cupboards, and there's loads of pieces of science equipment, files, tubes, all sorts of bits of paperwork from other unrelated experiments, as well as some personal files, general bills, an envelope of cards, a sketchbook, other notes and things pertaining to a home life. As you're searching through, the knocking from the cupboards in the other room starts up again. Clong, 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 clong. And a little bit louder this time, and it doesn't appear to stop.
Whatever you want to do, there's knocking coming from what seems to be like a morgue. If you want to get rid of that for us, that'd be great.
No, I'm good.
I wasn't talking to you, Maisie.
Oh, cool.
I mean, the only thing I've got left I can try here is I've got two choices. There's shut down or there's decontaminate. But if I shut it down, we might not be able to start it again.
Contaminate them.
I guess decontaminate then, and if we die, we die.
Well, that is true.
If I die...
I mean, you could go inside the morgue area while I decontaminate.
The morgue area is where the thing is knocking from that we don't want to come across. So
Yeah, but if it's knocking, it must be inside something. So you're right, surely.
I suppose there is something that we could hide in there, Maisie, from what I saw, that would fit a regular-sized person and maybe a very small person to squeeze in. That is assuming that decontaminate room means decontaminating this room and not incinerate the things that are in those boxes, which we don't know. Let's not take the 50-50.
Okay, so the thing is, we'd have to go first figure out who's knocking. Hopefully it's behind one of the ones that's locked that we can't even open. The other
You
thing
didn't check that the one that you opened was dead?
Oh, I did. I checked for any movement. There was no movement, and I felt around for stuff, and they didn't move then. But then I closed the thing, and it started knocking.
You didn't stab?
I didn't. I'm not just going to start stabbing.
People can lie still, Maisie.
It looked pretty dead. But yeah, there's just the one. We have to remove them from the thing. I don't really want to lay in there. It's really cold.
Yeah,
my concern is that it might get really hot.
But I was thinking more that if you just stay in that room, because I mean, decontaminate would probably decontaminate the room where the experiment is, which is where you're standing. So if you go in the other room with the door closed, then you should be okay.
Well, the other issue is that there's a decent chance that we are contaminated. So if everything has to be decontaminated, that will include us.
Well, that is true, I suppose.
Just press it.
Just press the button.
Just make sure that Neva's fine with you potentially killing her twin.
Okay,
Not
Neva.
really, but
Not
she's not my twin.
You okay with this, Neva? Because I mean,
Well, not really, but I don't know.
I don't think you've got much choice, to be honest. Okay. With much reluctance. Right, ready? Get ready. Here I go. Tick. Decontaminate.
When you click it, the screen shows a pop-up that reads, "Please wait," and a whirring can be heard from the room that Cromwell and Maisie are inside of. Suddenly, little metal thingies appear out of the ceiling and start spraying a dense white foam over everything. Spraying for quite a while before it stops and the foam starts to settle and deflate. You can breathe through it, though it's in your face and all that. It smells very chemically. It doesn't hurt or burn on you. It's kind of gross, a little sticky.
I went to a club like that once. I went to a phone party in Magaluf.
Oh, I've been to a phone party, never good. It settles for a second, and then more metal thingies appear out of the ceiling and start blasting heat into the room, evaporating all of the residue. Both of you, at this point, well, less Cromwell because of your hat, but definitely Maisie, your hair is just frizz central. And then the please wait turns into a complete as that pop-up disappears.
Well, that wasn't too bad, was it? Like the style, by the way.
She just turns towards you, angry.
Oh, I think you could carry it off. Not many people could, but I think you probably could.
Just going to try to make her hair burst into flames again.
Roll me a. I don't even know what would we go with. Control over body. Roll me a wisdom, I guess.
17.
17. You know, there's a significant like singy, flamey kind of area. You know, if you ever put like this is really weirdly specific. Some people know, some people won't. Put a 9-volt battery up to steel wool.
Yeah.
You get like that burning ember look to it. It kind of looks like that, a little bit of smoke and steam.
I genuinely thought you were going to say that with a 17 on a wisdom check, that it would be something like, it is inadvisable to set your hair on fire.
You get that sort of effect, except it isn't actually burning away your hair.
Oh, careful! I think that chemicals are reacting with your hair. Look.
I did that on purpose.
I've offered.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I've offered. I've said before. I will set your hair on fire if that's what you want. It's just I
No,
don't really
she
understand
doesn't.
why.
Can you just open the door now, please?
I'll try and open the intervening door thing, option.
Pass through.
Pass through. That's it.
You click on the pass through, and a pop-up appears. Would you like to open this hatch?
I
Yes.
go, yes.
You click less. Yeah, less. You click yes, and then a small hatch hinges open in the glass separation, just
Oh.
like like a small, big enough for an arm, maybe, just to go through. But
Put through the USB. Just
Oh, thank you. It's very nice. I suppose this goes in this computer somewhere. I mean, sorry, this device somewhere.
there seems to be a slot that's pretty much exactly the same size.
I'll endeavour to. Oh no, it didn't go that. Let me try this way. No, let me try this way. Oh, there we go. Why didn't that work the first time?
USB.
it's over.
You plug it in, and the computer makes a ba-ding noise. That's all it makes.
If it says that you have to safely eject it, just ignore that bit. You don't have to do that.
I know you're joking, but I used to think for years, it's probably fine until the day that I actually managed to ruin a USB stick by doing that. Not ejecting.
I will go back to the original menu, go to the voice notes, and try and play that.
The voice notes section now shows you a list of voice notes. Voice
Oh my
notes. Voice notes.
A voice cashew, a voice walnut.
Named by date. There's actually
Voice
a very
day.
long list of them. Unfortunately, all but 3 of them come with a tag next to them that says corrupted. The 3 notes available are, I will paste the numbers to you because there's no way that any of you will be happy to hear me just say numbers, but they are 03119320, 07119320, and 08119320.
And
I'll try and
the rest all went into politics.
corrupted.
You're trying one of the ones that are corrupted?
No, yeah. He said that. I don't mind.
Oh, corrupted. Right. I thought it would
I'm
clicked
gonna-
out, and because I heard I'll try, and then I heard corrupted, and I was like, oh, okay, sure.
I'm going to try the top one, 08119320, the latest one, hopefully.
The newest one. Listen, I'm going to be kind of meta. Just listen to them in the right order, otherwise it's going to be a lot.
I'm going to listen to the oldest one
This
first.
bit, you're just going to listen to all of them, and it's going to be so much more confusing if you don't. I'm going to be real with you.
Okay.
And like, there's been I'm fully pulling away this fourth wall. I put a lot of effort into these being in the
The
right
fourth wall is dissolved a long time ago.
Yeah.
order. So please do them in the right order.
I'm about to do the last one. I suddenly think, you know what? It might make more sense to do the first one
The
first.
third one, it pops up and it says, no!
Yeah.
No!
Please stop!
And the fourth wall goes back down. So you play, which one was that? The top of this?
03119320.
This is a note for Alex to edit that bit out so it sounds like he chose the right one first.
I'm keeping that in. You think I'm going to find that in the edit?
No, absolutely not. No.
I would if I could.
Has everyone here seen She-Hulk?
Yes.
No.
Then never mind.
Never mind.
I know what
I'm
you're
gonna play
talking
this.
about.
I've seen She-Hulk.
I'm gonna play this now.
Experiment number 14, conducted by Dr. Jane Strater, 3rd of November, 9320. Things are going slow. I can't say I've had much progress since the last voice note. The patient is still standing, despite the fact that all of her organs are sitting in the cold storage. I'm not really sure how. The only thing left to look at now is the head. I just need to see how the light is being produced. I just can't bring myself to do it. How am I supposed to cut into the head of my wife? I keep telling myself it's not her anymore, but... End voice note.
Okay, move down one. Could you read this, by the way, next door?
What?
Yeah.
Experiment number 1920, I don't even know anymore. Conducted by Dr. Jane Strater, 7th of November, 9320. Well, I did it. I cut open her head, but I was bitten. I hesitated looking at her, and she blinded me, and then I was bitten. I'll do what I can before I lose my mind, then I'll put myself in cold storage next to the captain. God, this is not what I expected to be doing at 32 years old. Any notes I make, I'll leave in the cupboards in the experimentation room. God, I don't even know who I'm telling this to. Everyone is dead except me. If anyone does find this and I'm still moving somewhere, do me the courtesy of letting me rest. I'm sorry, Ali, I tried. End voice note.
32. Okay.
So much emotion. You're muted, buddy.
For some reason, all of them are playing except that one. And then, for some reason, I must have accidentally muted Rowan's stream bit, so I didn't hear any of that.
Oh.
Sarah got bitten by
I will
a
read the
zombie
transcript.
who...
I will read the transcript.
Yeah, I said what I said.
Experiment number 1920. I don't know anymore. Conducted by Dr. Jane Strater, 7th of November, 9320. I did it. I cut open her head, but I was bitten. I hesitated looking at her, and she blinded me, and then I was bitten. I'll do what I can before I lose my mind, then I'll put myself in cold storage next to the captain. God, this is not what I expected to be doing at 32 years old. Any notes I'll make, I'll leave them in the cupboards in the experimentation room. God, I don't even know who I'm telling this to. Everyone is dead except me. If anyone finds this and I'm still moving somewhere, do me the courtesy of letting me rest. And then she says, I'm sorry, Ali. I tried, and ended the voice note.
Aww.
Hey guys, which of us were bitten by the guy?
No,
I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
I think if anybody was bitten, we'll find out eventually. I shouldn't worry about it.
Well, she
She
seems fairly clear that whatever's happening to her is going to happen in kind of short order, so...
Oh, we don't know that, do we? Hopefully, though. I think you're right.
It's okay.
It was only a couple hours ago, even though it feels like months.
It's okay. If I have to, I'll kill all of you.
That's very kind. Right, let's do the last one.
Just going to confirm for Purdy, you hear that?
Yep.
Cool. Then you should hear this one. If you don't, then obviously unmute the Discord stream, I guess. Here we go.
Well, I think this is it. My last note. I thought maybe it best I make a note of how to kill these damn things in case anyone else comes along. It's simple enough. Just need a few highly experimental chemical reactions. No problem. In the storage cupboard there's a box. I've named it the oh shit box. Just shove all of those liquids into one vial and then be very, very careful not to stimulate the vial. When you want to use it, shake it up and let it explode. It will dissolve any flesh that it comes into contact with, so be careful. I've locked the storage with a password. The code is my
What a good voice actor.
Very good. I'm quite impressed.
Jesus Christ.
I'm impressed. Tell Sarah, that was very impressive.
Yeah.
They were all
very
very
good.
impressed.
So I'm going to guess. So that's a very sad story. Very sad story. So first of all, oh dear, it sounds like she might still be, able to, like bite people and things, which is a shame for those on the wrong side of the force field.
I'm assuming I'm still hearing dum dum dum.
Yeah, it's.
So the good news is, well, it might be good news. I think I have a guess of what the password might be. Don't know if anybody else has any ideas, but
No.
At this moment in time, I just trust you.
well,
I have a question, but I guess it can wait till afterwards. So let's get out of here first.
okay.
And then
So this is my thinking, right? So in the middle recording, she said this wasn't what she expected to be doing when she was 32. So that might well have been her 32nd birthday. And in the last recording, she said that the password was her. So I'm going to say her birthday, which would mean that if you take 32 off 07119320, so that would be 2012. That'd be 0711928.
sure, go for
If
it.
my math is right, so I'll try typing that in.
You type that in, and it isn't correct.
Ah, oh bother.
I will go back to we skipped across from finding things in all of those covers. You never asked to do anything with any of the stuff that.
Oh yes.
I was going to say, is there a file with her full name in it?
There's not a file with a full name in it. I can
Is
go
it-
back through all the stuff that was in there if you want.
Is it a birthday
Yeah.
card?
You had said the stuff that's in there very disregardedly, so I figured it wasn't important.
Did I?
You did.
Yeah, let's have a look at the sketchbook.
In the sketchbook, there's a lot of anatomical sketches of.
You sounded very surprised to be asked about it, so we'll skip past that one.
In searching through the cupboards, there are lots of different pieces of science equipment, vials, tubes, all sorts, and various bits of paperwork from other unrelated experiments, as well as some personal files, general bills, an envelope of cards, a sketchbook, and other notes and things pertaining to home life.
What's in the cards?
A flush.
You look at the cards. They are birthday cards for Jane. And they mostly say 32nd birthday.
Are any of them by chance
Jane.
dated for some reason?
It's a good thing you asked to look at them. On the back of one of the envelopes, it says, "Do not open until the 12th of July."
Ah,
So
12th of July.
that, but instead of 11 and 12.
Yeah, so what that'd be 1207 12079288.
It opens.
Yay!
Or should I say, the password is correct, and it opens up.
Which door did you do? Ours or yours?
Neither. That was the storage room. behind me. Right, I'll be back in a minute. Just amuse yourselves for a moment.
So
Okay, well,
Try and think of a song you can hum along to that percussion you're getting from the other room.
I'll ask that question while you're grabbing your thing.
What?
I said I had a question, but maybe we save it for later.
Who's grabbing whose thing?
You were grabbing something from storage, presumably.
I am. I'm going to go grab
The
something.
vial. My question is, this is all put together, we assume, by the teachers at the university as part of a fun year-long competition, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the teachable moment here? Like some of them, I get. What is the teachable moment with this one?
This is all about self-sacrifice.
Is it?
Yeah.
You sure it's not just about like not getting distracted by lights?
That too, I imagine. Yeah.
I'm
also
fairly
don't get
certain
Clubbing
that's
is
not.
bad for you.
Don't get bitten by zombies. I think that's one of the takeaways here.
I will say whoever came up with this particular part is real fucked up.
Right, I'm going to try and open this door.
It does open. It is in fact openable now. It's just a small 5x5 storage room.
With a bunch of
Inside,
test tubes, I hope.
there's nothing particularly interesting, mostly chemicals and stacks of files, but there is a box with the words "Oh shit"
Oh
on
shit.
them, with a few vials of variously coloured liquids, and an empty vial. There is also a crowbar sitting on one of the shelves.
Oh fuck.
Right, well, I'll take the crowbar.
What kind of drinks are they serving?
Crow drinks.
Ha 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 ha.
And I will take the box with all the files in, but I will not mix them up yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I will go back over into the main room. Is there a room by this thing that I don't know is a computer, with like anywhere I could put the files on?
Sorry, say again.
Is there like sort of a desk by this computer?
Well, there's the desk on the left-hand side.
Yeah, I know, but I want to close to them. I want to carry the thing as short a distance as possible. It's all mixed up.
Right. I mean the floor.
Okay,
It's a
I'll
lot of
come.
open floor.
That's true. I'll bring it over here.
It's only volatile once it's mixed together, right?
Well, exactly. But once I don't want to have to carry the length of the room once it is mixed together, because I know what I'm like.
Sure.
I will start very carefully mixing together all the liquids.
Okay, well, while you're doing that, Cromwell, we got to be careful because apparently this thing's going to explode, and we want it to, but we're going to have to pry open the one, presumably where the knocking's coming from. Now I know it's the one right next to Captain R. Press, so we're going to have to pry that open since it's locked shut. Throw this thing in, trigger it.
No, that doesn't make sense. No, because it's going to be our Dr. Jane is going to be the one who's still around. But she's in the one you've already seen. You've seen her in a lab coat. It's the one which opens.
Yeah,
No,
that's
that
the
was
one
that was her wife, Arlene.
No, it wasn't.
No, she said that she was putting herself in, I think.
Yeah, but the one we looked at was Arlene.
How do you know?
Okay. I mean, can we make two things? Can we
'Cause
just
it-
get rid of both of them?
I tell you what. If it starts lurching towards you, you probably know that's the one you got to get rid of.
Yeah, that's fair.
They were late. That one was labeled Arlene, wasn't it?
It was Dr. A. Straighton.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she might have just got in.
Okay, well maybe you're right then. Well, in that case, that's fine. She's locked into it. I don't worry about it.
Maybe
Anyway,
maybe she wanted to be with her beloved, so she's wearing her like a coat.
oh, did you notice if her head was cut open or anything?
No.
Did you know?
Was there
because,
a cut open?
You don't know. I mean, you didn't particularly look.
Okay, fair enough. I'm gonna mix all the liquids together anyway. Very carefully.
I mean, I'm
There's
just-
the test tube, and it
I'm
fizzles
just-
slightly.
I'm just saying, why would they give us a crowbar if you weren't meant to use it?
That's a very fair point. Actually, I hadn't thought about that. Good point.
Serve the crows.
So, first of all, here's the crowbar. First of all,
Thank you, Cromwell. Do you want to hold the other thing? How gentle is your mage hand?
I've never really experimented with how gentle it can be. That seems weird.
Now's a great time.
Are you sure you've never experimented?
Yeah. I have no need. I'm not usually the one doing any kind of like physical stuff, so
I don't think
So
that's
what do you
what
do?
she meant.
if you're not careful, I'm just gonna shake
I know.
this and throw it through right now. There you go. Somebody take that off me.
I got the
How high up is
crowbar.
the
My
thing?
hands are full.
how high up is it, Alex?
High enough that you can reach it. Sorry, low enough that you can reach it.
Careful. There you go.
It's only
Okay.
a small like test tube.
All right.
Okay,
Well-
I'm afraid you can't do much else.
Wish us luck. I guess we'll go in here.
As you go in, it's getting loud. Clunk, 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 clunk. And you can see one of them, the one next to the captain's
Captain
one, is
Armpress.
clunk, clunk, clunk,
Not
clunk,
the one
clunk,
that I had
clunk,
opened
clunk,
before, right?
No, not the one you had opened before.
Cool.
It's the one
Okay.
next to the captain.
Yes. How do we do this without either having our flesh dissolved or getting bitten by this very sad woman?
Have you done it yet?
Any ideas here, Cromwell?
Yes. We are going to. How big is this test tube? I'm just gonna because I'm small, holding it like that, but like.
It's just a normal sized like test tube vial. You know.
Okay. Let's take a little look at the. How is this door sealed? Does it look like it's been just locked, or is it like welded shut?
It's not welded shut. You tried the handle before, and that didn't seem to do anything. You're unsure how, but it seems it has been jammed unvisibly.
Okay. Well, it's got a hinge, right? So all we've got to do is open it a little bit. So you open it a little bit. I will mage hand the thing inside, and we'll smash it as we then close the door like those couple of inches.
Okay.
If she's
All
a
right.
regular-sized woman, she won't be able to get out, as long as you are strong enough to hold her back.
Oh, good. All right.
So this all relies on you. Everything comes down to you.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Now, there's a lot of pressure here.
No.
Don't tell her that there's no pressure. There's a lot of pressure, and you have to try your hardest.
Okay, I'm gonna try to do the crowbar thing where we just pop off like one of the hinges, so enough of it's like pulled back that we can slide the test tube in and
Okay.
burst it.
What kind of handle is on it, Alex?
Handle on the crowbar.
No, on the door.
So I don't know if you've ever seen the morgue style things, at least from the movies, because I've never seen one in real life, where there's like a big hinge on the left and then like a horizontal handle that you kind of like push, I think it is, and it unclips and opens the door.
You put it in it. You put
Excellent.
it back and it unlocks. And then
That's fine. I'm going to take my rope and I'm going to tie it around that, and then going to tie it with only a little bit of slack to the door of the one next to it on the other side, so that even if it kind of does open more than just a few inches, it will then pull taut against the rope and not be able to open without breaking the rope.
Okay.
I made your job easier. You still have to try your hardest.
Of course, always.
Clarify positioning. Where's Maisie gonna be standing to open this?
Wherever I need to get leverage to pull the crowbar and
Okay.
not
So
pull the whole ass door off.
On the map, it is, let's say, is it this one you double click in it? I don't know how to do the. How do you make it highlight what you're showing? I swear you just double click and it does it. Oh, there it is. That one.
Yeah, that's what I assumed.
So the door opens. I can draw, can't I? Yeah, it would open to be open like that.
Okay, so I guess I'd stand on the side behind it where the hinges are and try to pull off one of the hinges.
No, we want to open it with the hinges. So you want to open it like you would as though you were just opening it normally. So you've got to stand on the other side, and I will be stood there with you. We'll open it a couple of inches. The rope will go taut when it's at max a couple of inches open. We'll mage hand the canister in, and we'll smash it and
Sure.
close it as fast as we can.
I'm assuming there's some room beneath the hatch, right? Because it's elevated.
Yeah, it's about chest height.
Once it does pull off, I want to kind of dive under to the other side so I can get on the other side and be prepared to push the door shut with my own force.
Okay.
What do I roll for this?
With the crowbar, you slot it in. Get ready. Roll a strength. It's not really athletics.
16.
I can quite my difference. 16. Okay. You push, and it's just hard. You can see it starting to creep open. There's a little bit of cracking, as though something is breaking. Till eventually, it suddenly jolts, and the door opens just a little bit. It bounces pretty hard open, hits that rope that you all this whole time, by the way, still the slamming on the door. It stops where the rope would stop it, and there's just this blaring horrid light coming from the from the opening. That is something you've seen before in the astronaut. That immediately blinds you until you look away. At which point you hear that same scream at the end of that recording echoes through the hallway all the way to the room 72. You hear this loud scream as the door busts open, completely breaks the rope. An entire, very weirdly malformed body just launches out as though it was fired out like a bullet straight into the wall.
As soon as the door was opening, the mage hand was shooting inside with the canister.
You can do that, but it happens in this. Like, it's an instant kind of as soon as it pops, it fires open. You would be on the way to putting something in there by the time the thing is already fired halfway out. He was slamming hard against that door. It slams outwards, hits the wall with a horrid crack, and you can see what hits the floor. Maisie, I don't know if you still dove underneath it towards the other side.
Oh, God knows. You're running the other direction if it burst out.
The thing that hits the ground looks very similar to the others. This, grey, gaunt figure, except a lot of the body pieces are very malformed and enlarged, weirdly veiny. There's all sorts of growths all over the body. You can't even tell you can tell it was humanoid. You can't tell.
What did you do to Sarah?
Insane thing slams out and makes another one of these huge roars. At this point, you can decide to either slam the chemical into it or do something else, but I feel I know what you're going to do.
Yeah, I think we run outside the room and throw the chemical in there and close the door if we can.
I'm going to throw it and then run. I'm
Yeah.
not going to add distance to this.
Fair.
So it screams and starts to run towards you as you just launch this chemical at it.
I'm not even going to throw it. It will travel in the mage hand as the mage hand slams.
Sure. It slams into it, and this mixture fizzles very violently and does like a. Have you ever seen like the elephant foam experiment things?
Yeah.
You know, if you put the chemicals together, it turns into that huge amount of foam.
Oh.
It does that. A sort of a deep purple foam just explodes through the corridor and darkens the light, blocking you from being able to see the light. And all you can hear is a screaming turning to a gurgling as this light that's vaguely visible through the darkness starts to spin around and fade down, and the screaming gets more gurgly and wet until eventually it stops and this foam fades down, and once the foam is just a vague liquid on the ground, mostly evaporated, there is just a pile of clothes and a grey goopy mess on the floor.
Lovely.
I will go and retrieve what I imagine is now a 45-foot rope.
Yes. It was just snapped like as soon as it tried.
Hey, while you're over there, do you want to dig through the goop? I think she probably had something on her.
You want me to dig through the goop? You want me to dig through the goop that still has the flesh melting stuff on it?
Is there still flesh melting stuff on it? I thought that stuff.
It's mostly evaporated. There's nothing visible on it.
With mage hand?
Sure, do a mage hand.
Do a mage hand?
I'm telling her to do a mage hand.
I guess
give
we'll
it your best. I want to see what your mage hand would look like.
I guess we'll sit here and not continue. I guess.
Guys.
I mean, don't look at me.
It's just
no, I'm more
please is not too much to ask for.
Like you always use your manners.
I'm from the streets. You two are supposed to be refined, and I try.
What a point! If you want her to use her manners to you, you should reverse it and use it to others as well.
Yeah, I try.
Okay.
Mark turned into all of us for a second there.
How's it going in there?
I mean, mostly you heard the like monstrous roar.
You did a good job, Cal. The thing worked.
Well, that's good. That's good.
I'm just gonna wait until there's no more of the until it's all evaporated, and then
Sure.
I'll have a poke around.
You can have a poke around with the mage hand, of course.
With the clothes and within the clothes and stuff, there's only one thing: a little pass card clipped to like a pocket of a lab coat.
I got a card.
Oh, good stuff. Yes. So if I go back onto the to the terminal, what was the last one? That the open the doors. It said it needed a pass or something.
Yes, they need a pass.
The exit doors. It said, "Please insert clearance pass into slot."
Okay, if you want to pass that thing through, yeah, this might be where I think I might be able to open the doors now.
Do you have a slot over there? I don't think we have one over here.
Yeah, in the computer thing here. In this device here with the keys.
Okay.
This thing I've decided to call a computer for no particular reason.
Yes, it's because it looks like a computer.
I think we should call it a magic abacus.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a magic abacus with a slot in the front for a card thing.
A mabacus.
Abacus.
Magicus.
Magicus, that's right.
Sure. You pass across the card, which of course fits into a slot. You click on the exits, and both of them now come up with the "Would you like to open this door?" prompt.
Yes. Yes.
Do you open both of the doors?
Yes, I do open both the doors.
Leave the others strapped in there.
I mean, it's because it's Cal and not me doing it. Yes, I open both the doors.
Yes, you open both of the doors and successfully open into these two doors down here, which I shall reveal and talk about.
I'm just conscious of the time.
Yes, I was going to describe these, and then
okay,
that would be.
This is going to be the bottom of the map.
You hope.
On the right-hand side, in
Is that stairs?
room number 81. 15 by 50 foot, 10 foot tall, there is one open doorway on the west wall. It has the same white walled aesthetic as before, except now the walls are covered in blood splatters and the lights are flickering, with roof panels hanging down and little sparks of lightning being seen every now and again in the ceiling. This seems to be some sort of decontamination room from the metal pipes and hoses in the ceiling, but none are operational. There is also a figure lying in the corner in a pool of its own blood, dressed head to toe in some kind of hazard suit. As you look at it closer, you can see that the face has been completely eaten off, and there are scorch marks around the bite marks. The other room, which is the one that the others of you guys step into, bing, bang, boom, is 25 by 15 and 10 foot tall. There are two metal doors on the west wall, doors that seem to slide up to open. The north one is shut with a small panel on the right showing a red light and has the words Captain R. Press locked. And the south one is jammed around 3/4 of the way closed and sparking. The south wall is lined with lockers, alongside which are gas tanks and some benches. On the floor near the captain's room are two more dead bodies in pools of blood. One of them you can see their guts hanging out, having been torn open. The other is missing its head completely.
This is supposed to be an educational institution. What is going on with this curriculum?
I think I found the captain's room. That's nice. But I'm not sure about these roommates, though. They look a bit unhappy.
And on that disgusting and horrid note, we will have to call it the end of the session.
God, blimey.
We did it.
We've hit the bottom edge.
You have hit the bottom edge. Again, I have my full apology. I'll be 100% honest with you. The other sections of this won't be quite. I don't think they'll take anywhere near as long.
I bloody hope not.
I feel like we've made.
Okay, I misjudged how long this would take.
I feel like we've made pretty good progress today.
Oh yeah.
We have, actually.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to be probably nearly half of it today. I was only here for the second half.
Yeah.
So there's a room up there, there's a bit down there, and there's a bit in this bottom right-hand corner. No worries, we'll have this sorted in no time.
My assumption is that we just have the rest of this like magenta section. We have this yellow crescent moon section. We have the pink circle, and we have the yellow square. And I think that's it.
Yeah, and the yellow square I think is going to probably loop back on itself into that gap up there.
Yeah, so the yellow square doesn't seem to even be that large of an area, nor does the rest of this magenta section. And to be honest, if the yellow moon and the orange moon and the pink circle are all in that one section, that they're not very large either.
It should be fine. I don't see any problem at all. What are you talking about?
One more session, smash it.
Probably.
Easy.
Next week is Taris, though, so.
Oh, again already? Great.
And
Let me start stretching my vocal
the
cords.
session after that, you're not here, so you don't have to do this.
Yes!
I'll try not to take that offensively.
I appreciate everything you've done for it.
No, I made this.
time.
I definitely was like, it's going to be huge, and that's fine. It has taken longer than I expected, for sure, to complete. I apologize for that.
No, I think personally, I think it's brilliant. But then,
monotonous.
I like puzzle rooms and things. So
I like puzzle rooms, but like at least 2 sessions for me of doing this is killing me.
I didn't expect this to take much more than 2.
But like you said earlier, the gaps we've had between sessions makes it feel like longer.
Alex, your friends are stupid. We can't.
Nothing hits harder than like
you said that, and I straight away thought, "How dare you call us stupid?" And I was like, "Oh wait, you're referring to yourself as well."
Yeah.
Oh my. That's implying that I'm your friend.
It's implying you have friends, which I think is very.
Anyway, the only thing left to do is some exhausted, awkward waves as we stare into a camera and say goodbye.
Bye, camera.
I think we're only missing 2 keys now as well.
Yes, you are.
I have a week to work out what my voice is supposed to be like in Taris Tales.
Yeah. We'll see you next time.
Just listen to the first one.
I did, and I still couldn't work it out.
Or change it every week and see if we know.